Welcome to Ultimate Autographs. If you were looking for the internet's most exciting and interactive live break room, then you have come to the right place. We are opening live break mystery boxes featuring the biggest names from across the sports world every single day. If you're new to breaking with us, we can help break it down and make it as easy to understand as possible. First, head over to the live break page and look for a series that suits your interests. Most of our series will have 8 spots, which represent the 8 NFL divisions, but other sports breaks or mixers may vary. If you purchase one spot, that means you have a 1 in 8 chance to win that item at an extremely discounted rate. Next, click Add to Cart to purchase your live break spot. Once you've completed your checkout, tune into the next available live breaks broadcast on Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube at noon, 3, or 6 p.m. Central Time any day of the week. As you watch, you will see your name appear on the screen when your specific break begins. Your name will go into the randomizer and will be randomized a specific amount of times based on that evening's dice roll number. Once randomization is over, the list of names of people that bought into that live break will be matched up with a specific division. If the item that is pulled from the mystery box matches your division, congratulations, you just won an incredible piece of signed memorabilia. Want to guarantee yourself an item as opposed to testing your luck? Some of the series that you see on the live break page can be purchased under the mystery box tab of our website. Those boxes could either be shipped directly to your door or open live on the air before being sent to you. While you are there, make sure to sign up for our Signature Points Club. This exclusive club earns you points toward specific discounts, signed items, or exclusive events each and every time you buy at ultimateautographs.com. Your breaker for tonight's show,
my God,
likes long walks on the beach, candlelight dinners in his Patrick Mahomes jersey,
none are better than this one, the best quarterback in the world.
Oh, there
Patrick Mahomes.
and staring at the messy posters over his bed, it's Kamen Entchev.
Hello and welcome to Ultimate Autographs. Kamen Entchev here with Rob Hill, ready for a big Tuesday night show. So much good stuff in the break room. Nothing better than that League Leader Speed Flex. Hey, there's 15 boxes left. Fitting for number 15, the big chase item, the Crystal Mahomes Flex. Open up at the end of the series as a bonus prize. There's a normal Mahomes Flex in there. Well, nothing normal about it. A white Speed Flex with the chromed out Mahomes face on there. We got a Tom Brady, the greatest quarterback of all time. We got an incredible Steve Smith, Mike Evans, NFC South, a hotbed for double up, triple ups. We got the Steve Smith Sr. as well. We have great stuff in the practice squad with the headliner ratios. One spot to go in the vault. You'll see your boy Kurt Warner. We got a John Elway chrome in the diamonds. The game day, that sick Jonathan Taylor. We got Troy Aikman and John Elway in the minis. Pretty much every series right now is absolutely loaded. I cannot wait to get started on a terrific Tuesday night. How you doing, Rob?
Amazing, man. Getting ready to get some of these bad boys out there. They're scratching and clawing to try to get themselves out of some boxes here. It's even better that you're here with me, my guy. I know that I was just celebrating a little bit of an earlier birthday today with our man Don Pellegrini.
I was
on the last show.
Sing.
Yeah.
I was listening to it. I was upset you didn't sing.
I really wanted to, but I told Dom that if somehow, some way that his Packers could have gotten past the juggernaut Cleveland Browns this past weekend, then I would have sang it for him. But
his team loses, no song. That's fair.
J Lo's performance was not inspiring enough for me to sing happy birthday to him. But you know what? There's always next year. Not
enough love in that game for him.
There's definitely not next year though for our League Leaders series.
No, and that's going to be the automatic chase. It's one we got to get after right away. We'll make that the chase. League Leaders. Just to clarify, every box in that series is a speed flex. Also, every box in that series, Rob, has a player that's led the league in something. Receiving yards, receiving touchdowns, passing touchdowns, for example. There's sacks, picks. There's a lot of awesome stuff in there. I'll get started with a top-to-bottom rundown. I would say, guys, let's get that vault break done, though, as well. One spot to go in that vault, but I will start that top-to-bottom rundown on the break page, guys, letting you know what we got going on here in the UA live break room. Should be a awesome Tuesday. Before I do that, though, I do got to do the dice roll, Rip. What number are you feeling, man? Any number you're feeling?
Let's go with, let's see. Rip is going to go with 9. Rob's going to go with 10.
Okay, I'll go with 8. I'll go right below you guys.
Right below? Okay.
We got rolling that dice 7. Hey, right below what all of us picked.
All of us, yeah.
7 on the dice roll. I am told by one of our own, Ricky Widmer, that apparently 7 is the most common dice roll combination. So the more you know.
I believe it.
So we'll get started with the tour of the break room. Top to bottom rundown on that break page. Give you guys what we got going on. So we got a brand new Jersey series. How many headliners left? Easy, Rob. All of them. Every single headliner left, including some legends like, for example, Hall of Famers, Dick Butkus, Eric Dickerson, Lawrence Taylor. We got Primetime, Champ Bailey, Jay Jettas, Jerome Bettis, Tyreek Hill, Warren Moon, Fred Warner, all those headliners out there. Dale says the lucky host is back. Let's do it, Dale. Test that luck tonight. Mini helmets. We're down to 12 minis left, and we got 5 headliners left, 4 of which are photoed. 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks, John Elway, Troy Aikman. Both of these guys with multiple Super Bowls, icons of the game of football. I was just watching the Cowboy documentary on the way in, and Troy Aikman, big part of that documentary. I got Warren Moon, Curtis Martin, more Hall of Famers in here. Secondary headliner Ricky Williams. A lot of goodies in here. Some of the best running backs and quarterbacks of all time. Makes sense it's called the Red Zone series because the quarterback or the running back getting those touchdowns. Practice squad, such a loaded series. We got 19 boxes left, 8 total headliners left. Some of the best left in here, right? We have a couple of speed flexes, Zay Flowers, Jamar Chase, a mini helmet, excuse me, but an AFC North double up, the Triple Crown winner, Jamar Chase, and the #1 receiver for the Ravens, Zay Flowers. We got the Jim Kelly Authentic, which pairs with Dan Marino. Talk about 80s and 90s quarterback legends. 2 Hall of Famers, 1 spot for just over $100 in that practice squad double. 4th all-time in receiving touchdowns. Got Chris Carter in there. Myles Garrett also for the AFC North. One of the top 2 or 3 pass rushers in football. Eddie George on the Oilers speed flex with that blue visor. Eddie George, a Tennessee Titan legend. His first year ever with the Houston Oilers. And then we got Ricky Williams as well, secondary headliner. So that's a lot of goodies in there in that practice squad break. Get an authentic, get a speed flex for as little as $51 in that practice squad single. Now, they taught me in journalism school, don't bury the lead. So let's not bury this too much, Rob. This is the one we're talking about, the League Leader Speed Flex, the best series in the room. This series is so good. It's called the League Leader Series, right? We have our photoed headliners, we have our secondary headliners, and we have our and more section. The last 2 wide receivers to lead the NFL in receiving yards were not good enough to make a headliner in this series. Jamar Chase and Tyreek Hill,
Crazy.
2 of the most popular players in the NFL, were in the and more section of League Leaders. A speed flex, Jamar Chase and Tyreek Hill, not good enough to be headliners in the series. That, to me, is mind-blowing. Speaking of headliners, there's 15 boxes left. There's 12 headliners left, 9 of which are photoed. So there's actually a better than a 50% chance at a photoed headliner. That includes this awesome Calvin Johnson Lion alternate authentic. It wouldn't be the League Leader Series without the all-time single season receiving yard record holder, over 1,900 yards for Megatron, the most ever in a season. That's still out there. We have Steve Smith Sr., one of 5 Triple Crown winners since the NFL merger as a wide receiver with the Ice Up Sun inscription. Look at that helmet, Rob. This thing is beautiful. We have ourselves also available Chris Johnson, CJ2K, one of 9 2,000-yard rushers. The 2K Club inscription, that sort of Carolina blue, Argentina blue, Tennessee blue. It's probably my favorite color, hence why I'm wearing my blue polo with that same shade, Rob. Cannot beat that color scheme. It looks absolutely stunning on one of the fastest football players ever, Chris Johnson. We have Tom Brady on the Buccaneers Speed Flex. I like how Dom gave me attribution on his story he talked about earlier today, but I say this all the time and I'll stand by it. Arguably the most important Super Bowl of Brady's career, the last one. We ended the Brady-Belichick debate. Who's the greatest, part of that Patriot team? Was it the quarterback? Was it the coach? We saw what happened with Belichick. We've seen what's happened with Brady. All due respect to Bill Belichick, that debate is over. Not to mention, personally, Rob, when we talk about the all-time greats the debate of who the best ever is. I personally don't put too much stock in head-to-head matchups because it's, one game and it's a team game. But the overall media and overall fan base, say in 15 years, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, we're sitting here debating who the greatest quarterback of all time is, both in this series. Well, Tom Brady will always have, I beat him in the Super Bowl. And all the Brady fans will always use that to their argument, and society as a whole will back that argument. I'm not saying I necessarily agree with it, but people tend to look at those head-to-head matchups. Brady versus Mahomes in the Super Bowl once, Brady won head-to-head. So, iconic.
Yeah, it's a pretty compelling argument to make, to say the least. I think one thing that's inarguable, Kamen, is that whether you end up with the Tom Brady in this series or you end up with a Patrick Mahomes, whether that's the gifted one, which you'll talk about in just a little bit, that I could see is getting inching closer and closer to you.
Eye candy.
I was going to say it is eye candy. Yeah, no, it's very beautiful to stare at. But I mean, look, going back to the Brady and Mahomes thing, I don't know if you heard the little pop quiz question that I asked Dom during our last show, but Patrick Mahomes is right there with the greatest quarterback rating ever in the playoffs. So
yes,
despite him losing that head-to-head matchup, which was his second worst quarterback performance, it still was better than 3 of Brady's worst Super Bowl performances. Yeah. So I personally think that Mahomes is the best I have ever seen throw a football with my own 2 eyes, but a lot of the numbers back it up as well, but that's why it's so fun to talk about, right? So and the greatest thing is that even if you don't end up with a quarterback in this league leader series, which you very well could, you get the Mahomes on the top of the black and white custom speed flex there. There's still nothing but legends and league leaders specifically throughout this whole series that we can talk about.
We'll talk plenty tonight about Mahomes v. Brady. We're just getting warmed up for a teaser. You've already got some topics to throw at you, Rob, but I'll do those after the rundown. But obviously, in all likelihood, we'll see what happens, assuming Mahomes stays healthy. Probably at worst ends up being the second best quarterback ever. Tom Brady being the best. We're talking about the 2 greatest quarterbacks of all time, which, by the way, a Mahomes speed flex worth around $3,000 on a custom. A Brady speed flex worth north of $3,000, about $3,000 on the standard. These make some awesome gifts, awesome trades. The 2 best quarterbacks I've ever seen play the game. Mike Evans, 3-tone Chrome speed flex, Mr. All Reliable. You can get the NFC South for $470. Win a $3,000+ Brady lid, over $1,000, pushing $2K Mike Evans lid for just $470 in that awesome series. So the League Leader Speedflex series features only players who have led or tied for the league lead in various statistical categories. The categories are passing yards, rushing yards, receiving touchdowns, and sacks/interceptions. Participants in the series will accumulate these stats, and at the end of the series, the leaders in each category will have an entry into a drawing for a Swarovski Crystal Patrick Mahomes Speed Flex. So there's actually, as you see in the listing, there's going to be 5 categories, and you basically have a 1 in 5 chance at the Mahomes lid if you win the category. So, for example, the sacks interceptions category is still up for grabs. The receiving yards, Jason right now is leading, but if Curtis gets another receiving yard, one could pass him up. So I know this one's kind of small. It's not fully zoomed in, guys, but we are tracking all the league leaders. For example, Blake Furman got an Adrian Peterson helmet, 2,097 rush yards that MVP season. Adrian Peterson, by the way, not even a photoed headliner in the series, which is crazy. So you guys get a chance at Mahomes at the end. But even if you don't get the Mahomes at the end, you're going to get a speed flex in every box in the series. I mean, Calvin Johnson, Steve Smith, Chris Johnson, Tom Brady, Mike Evans, the greatest defensive player of all time, Lawrence Taylor on that Chrome Flex, DeMarcus Ware who can double up, the sack machine for the Cowboys and Broncos. We got that NFC North double up, Randy Moss, Calvin Johnson, the 2 most talented receivers I've ever seen. We have the Mahomes compared with Terrell Davis, secondary headliner. There's so many options, guys, in this series. These helmets, again, are breathtaking. I missed the Lawrence Taylor lid, by the way, that 2-tone red and blue. Very, very clean on that LT right there. So that league leader is getting close. We're 4 to go in that double box break. Only 15 boxes left, 12 headliners left. Once we get this done, it's 13 to go. At that point, we are off and running. Practice squad went over the names earlier, 7 spots to go. The game day series, still loaded. There's 10 boxes left. We got 5 headliners in here, including the NFL's leading rusher right now. The guy that pretty much has my personal fantasy football team in second place after 3 touchdowns, over 100 yards rushing. You know, talk about Daniel Jones, Indiana Jones, all you want. The number one reason why the Colts are 3-0 is Jonathan Taylor. By the way, I'm going to go ahead and back my birthday guy, my co-host Don Pellegrini. Earlier today, he said he would get 2,000 yards. I'm going to second that for this season, Jonathan Taylor. That's how good this dude is, JT, with that gold coat right there. Arguably the best running back in the NFL. Probably the best defensive player for me. A lot of folks will go Myles Garrett. A lot of folks will go Micah Parsons. My personal pick for the best defensive player in the league, TJ Watt, two-tone chrome flex, the gold and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow. Very, very clean lid. We got the Terry McLaurin, second in receiving touchdowns last year. One of the best wide receivers in the National Football League. Multiple of the best receivers in here. I could argue maybe 3 top 10 wideouts in the league. Nico Collins, number 1 in Houston. Jackson Smith-Njigba. Looks like the Seahawks made a good call. They unloaded Metcalf, Lockett. They said JSN's number 1, and he's been statistically top 2 or 3 in the league, period. So beautiful lid right there. 5 headliners and 10 boxes. A lot of the non-headliners, Rob, will be entries for potentially gift cards, right? Fantasy entries based on what they scored. And you get a point multiplier. Say your guy got 20 fantasy points. You get a point multiplier, up to 5. Those 20 fantasy points turn into a $100 gift card. One spot to go in that vault double, $200. Get yourself a speed flex. Kurt Warner, the 2-time league MVP, one of the best quarterbacks of all time. You take Kurt Warner's best 4 years in the NFL and you put it up against anybody's best 4 years. You know, he's a top 10 prime quarterback of all time. I don't know if he played long enough for longevity. There were some injuries in between, which slowed him down for a little bit. You take the best of Kurt Warner, though, there's not 10 quarterbacks better to ever play the game. By the way, you were talking about playoff pass rating for Mahomes being right up there.
Yep.
Number 1 in playoff passing yards per game ever, Kurt Warner.
Yep.
That's a record Mahomes had briefly, but with a few less yards the last couple years, Warner has retaken that lead in that category. 6 boxes left in that vault. 7 boxes left, 2 headliners. Kurt Warner, also Eddie George of the Tennessee Titans. And then we have 3 vault keys, a 300, a 100, and a 50. You get the gift card plus the rep helmet if you win. So technically 5 in 7 chance at a headliner, secondary headliner, or a vault key. Diamond lids, we're looking for one of the best helmets in the break room. There's only 8 boxes left. We got this beautiful ghost chrome John Elway, the orange visor, orange face mask. One of my favorite moments in the history of football. John Elway, helicopter touchdown against the Green Bay Packers. Had the drive as well. Just an iconic football name. By the way, beautiful autograph. This autograph for John Elway is sick. And then we got ourselves 3-time Offensive Player of the Year, former league MVP, Super Bowl champion, top 10 back of all time, Marshall Faulk on that beautiful Ram Retro Diamond Authentic. Very, very clean in the Hail Mary Diamonds. Mystery box tab, you can get the Authentic Football Helmet Series. These will be just shipped straight to you. Could only be done as personals, guys. We don't open these live on the air, but some massive names. Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, Josh Allen, Calvin Johnson, all on speed flexes. Guaranteed wins if you buy that spot. We have the minis. We have the college reps as well available. We have all the headliners left in here except for the Tyreek Hill, Vince Young, Johnny Manziel, Michael Vick, Joe Theismann. Plenty of quarterbacks, of course. Then we do have that headliner package. 1 mini, 1 jersey, 1 rep, 1 authentic. 4 headliner names for just over $1,900. So jersey break is now down to 3. Practice squad doubles down to 5. League leader doubles down to 4. League leader singles down to 5. And we do have that vault break finally sold out. Let's go! Vault double coming up. Go ahead and drop me 2 box numbers for the vault double. What's up, Charles Nelson? Hate comment, says Charles. What's going on, brother? Is Dale in that vault double? Because Dale claims I'm his lucky host. He's got to put that to the test, Dale.
He is not in the vault double. John Touton got tired of waiting around for that bad boy to close. So not only did he decide to close the vault double, he's feeling himself tonight. He closed the league leader double down to 4 spots as well.
Let's go, Johnny boy. John making moves. JT. Of course, I gave Dom a birthday present. I gave him an air high five, Charles Nelson. Love Dom Pellegrini. Cody Myers is in that break, I'm guessing. I know Rob's getting that list finalized here.
He is.
He wants the wheel ×2. All right, brother, that works. I'm actually going to go to the picker wheel because we only have a few boxes left in the series. We'll put all the boxes left in my picker wheel here. Thank you, Cody. Cody's been red hot in the break room.
Yep.
He's been out here cooking the last week or so. Cody's one of those guys that's a longtime customer. You know, took a little bit of time off. Haven't seen him in quite a while. But he's back and back with a bang. It's like he never left. Cody Myers. Good to have Cody in the house. So we got 20, 23, 24, and 29. I'm going to spin the wheel twice. Let's see if we get Kurt Warner here on that Cardinal Speed Flex. Rob, my co-host here, is a diehard Cardinal fan. Kurt Warner, one of the most iconic Cardinals ever. Maybe we get to see Rob get to see his boy Kurt Warner, right?
Yeah,
that'd be nice.
And on top of that, too, even if you don't end up with a Kurt Warner, or if you're a fan of the Tennessee Titans, there's a little AFC South running back action. Eddie George on the secondary headliners with the Titans. You guys have a 2-7 shot of that. However, you still end up having 3 vault keys as well that we have available. So that go as high as $300, $100 for another vault key, or $50 for another. So, I mean, you could possibly walk away with this Kurt Warner Speed Flex and some possible UA credit.
Well,
can't go much better than that.
Technically, for $200, if you win with 200 and you get it's a double box break, you get the Kurt Warner Flex, which is worth around $1,000, and then you get a $300 gift card. Then you get a second item. We could actually pay you for 2 helmets in this series potentially.
Yeah.
Now let's do 4 and 23, Rob, on that wheel. 4 and 23.
4 and 23.
We got Jason Harmeling, Alexander Villanueva, Gabriel Flores, Cody Myers, Joe Mislevek. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that, Joe. And then John Taukton here for the Vault Double. Maybe 2 boxes, maybe a 2-time league MVP, Kurt Warner, part of a pretty small club of 2-time league MVPs, but multiple of those are league leaders. Mahomes has 2, Brady has 3. We are loaded with MVPs. Lawrence Taylor, by the way, one of 2 defensive MVPs in the league leaders. That league leader series, Rob, what's great about it is, you can have kind of like a crazy good year, but if you lead the league in a category, it is to be number 1 in the NFL in a specific stat category, whether it's receiving yards, rushing yards, receiving touchdowns. It's pretty hard to have a fluke over 16 games. It's going to be massive names every box in that series. No doubt about that. All right, let's get this done right here. Let's get the show on the road. 7 times for our spots, guys, in the Vault Double. Maybe it's Kurt Warner time here. One of the best stories in football history. And, we talk about Kurt Warner being a high V guy, a guy that never got a chance to play until Trent Green's injury, went from bagging groceries at high V to the NFL. Well, what's crazy about Kurt Warner is, Rob, he didn't get a chance to play in college football at the FCS level till his last year in college. He was actually a backup at Northern Iowa most of his time there as well.
Yeah.
Which is wild to me. Cody Myers has the NFC North, Jason Harmeling, NFC South, NFC East is John Taukton, Joe Mislevek in that Kurt Warner spot, NFC West, Alexander Villanueva, AFC North. We got Cody Myers, AFC East. Jason has the AFC South, the Eddie George spot, and Gabriel Flores out there in the AFC West. Good luck, guys, in the vault tonight. We'll love to get this series closed up tonight, shut the door, and say sayonara to the vault. All right, first of 2 boxes. I don't think this is a replica helmet. This, in fact, is an authentic lid. Ooh. Why don't you join me in looking at a Hall of Famer, Charlie Joyner.
Ooh.
Hall of Fame 1996. And this word, pretty much describes what Charlie Joyner brought to the table. Speed! The speed inscription. Fast receiver, part of that Air Coryell offense for the San Diego Chargers back in the day. Dan Fouts, the quarterback. My Mizzou man, Kellen Winslow, senior, not junior, the tight end. And then, of course, Charlie Joyner, the Hall of Fame wide receiver. Gabriel Flores, 1 spot. AFC West, you are taking home the Charlie Joyner Salute to Service Authentic. So that's the and more section. I mentioned there's a 5 in 7 chance at a headliner or a vault key. Well, now it's a 5 in 6 chance, Rob. The odds just got better. Hall of Famer being one of the quote-unquote lesser hits in the series. So these are great series, man. These are great boxes, especially the expensive ones with the Authentics, the Diamonds, the Game Day, the Vault, the Speed Flex. You're getting the best of the best in those series. No doubt about that.
Yeah, I mean, especially for a guy like Charlie Joyner, too. Anytime you can get anybody on the Salute to Service Common, that's obviously a must-have. But, yeah, I mean, for Joyner overall, I mean, a Hall of Famer, 3-time Pro Bowler. You talked about being a part of the Air Coryell offense. Not too many guys in the 80s and 70s were flirting with, 1,100, 1,200-yard seasons. And Joyner had 3 straight 1,100 plus yard seasons. So
and that was with Kellen Winslow getting a bunch of catches, too. So there was competition in that receiving / tight end core.
Yeah, and for me, honestly, like a lot of this is also a nice history lesson for me as well.
100%.
I really am starting to enjoy myself going through pro football reference pages and just seeing like some of the cool tidbits, maybe even some nicknames, some outlier years, and something that I think we're going to be seeing quite a lot of because, again, we're going to be focusing a lot on the League Leaders series. Not only Kamen and I, but you guys at home or wherever you might be tuning into the UA Break Room should be as well. Because when we talk about the league leaders, you never know. We got some guys with some great one-off years in NFL history that might end up in the and more section of that. But before that, we got one more.
One more to go, baby. One more to go in the vault. Pick 6 vault. We got 23 out of 30 coming up in the vault. I call it the MJ box. Let's see if we can't get a Kurt Warner Speed Flex coming out here. Let's see if we can't get a Kurt Warner Speed Flex. What is it I said? What are we talking about? We are talking about a 2-time league MVP, Pro Football Hall of Famer, Kurt Warner, the White Cardinal Speed Flex with the black visor, Joe Mislevek. Dattaboy Joe, $200. You got Kurt Warner, baby. Woo! Let's go, Joe. Let's go, Joe.
Very nice.
Kurt Warner Speed Flex. Very, very nice. On the awesome flex. One of the best stories ever. Kurt Warner, one of the best arms ever. One of the best people ever around football history. An awesome star, Joe, right there on your Kurt Warner Speed Flex.
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty great follow-up. A Hall of Famer, a Chargers legend in Charlie Joyner, and then very hard to follow that up, but I mean, we had to. The last photo headliner we have left, and yeah, I mean, how much more can we talk about Kurt Warner than we already have, man? So, I mean, Kurt Warner is one of the better quarterbacks ever, certainly one of the most underrated quarterbacks. Of course, for my affiliation with the Cardinals, he took basically a 500 Cardinals team common who actually had a point differential of 0. They were a 500 team. They're about as pedestrian as they could be. And then what did he decide to do in 2008? Throws 12 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, has one of the best postseasons ever for a quarterback. And, it was
close.
It was a James Harrison play away from
so close.
From winning a Super Bowl in 08. So
icon, baby. Icon. Jersey break is coming up next, Theo. Jersey break is coming up next, brother. I'll go ahead and put this in the chat. Jersey single number 1. 1 through 30 available. Go ahead and drop me a box number. Kurt Warner also is in the League Leader series. In that series, though, Rob, he's a secondary headliner. So it tells you that series is considerably better than a Kurt Warner Speed Flex. Didn't even get the photoed headliner billing. So really good stuff. Why don't we do this, Rob? Once you get the New Jersey up, we can take the vault double down for now. We'll probably run maybe one more vault single, and then maybe we could put this back in inventory, start a new series here soon. But I know we have 6 to go in that single, so we'll leave that one up for now.
Absolutely.
Just less things up on the site, less competition, opening up the floodgates for you guys picking what you really want to break here tonight.
Definitely.
So Jersey break is coming up. This is the halftime jerseys. First box in this series. Go ahead and drop me a box number. I'll put this in again because I know it didn't go through. Jersey single number 1, drop me a box number. We got 27 of you guys watching. I'm going to drop the live break page link. If you have any questions at all whatsoever, do not hesitate to ask. Please let us know. We're here to answer any questions on that break page. We'll also drop the link of our best series at the moment. That is the Speedflex Double. So, yeah, we don't give break spots for being so nice, Theo, unfortunately, because we have way too many nice customers. And if we gave out a break spot to every nice customer, we'd be out of business. I'd be fired, Rob. I would be homeless. So I'd rather not be homeless, Dale.
We do not need
As
that.
much as I like you, I would rather not be homeless. So unfortunately, I cannot give out a free break spot for being nice. So we got 15, though, from Eric Linnell. Is Eric Linnell my competition? Dude, Eric Linnell right now is my arch nemesis. Him and I are battling it out for the first place spot in the pick'em against the customers, Rob. Confidence pick'em. Eric Linnell and I are going at it in that competition. We know how to pick our games, don't we, Eric? We got Dale in here, Justin, Gabriel, Michael, Larry, Robert, and Eric. Good luck, guys. Halftime rush coming up. The Jersey series, let's rock and roll. And get that all Speedflex break. Only 4 to go in that double box. We knock out one more spot. We're at 3 to go. We're as good as done, right? As good as done in that break. So let me throw these names in here. And we'll go 7 times for our spots. Let me get box 15 off that ticker. You're lucky the Ravens lost. I had them for 14 points. I only had 3 points on the Ravens because I thought last night would be a toss-up. And the Lions, definitely looked really good. The Ravens defense, there's something not right with the Ravens defense. They got to get that together. I just don't see how they're going to win playoff games with that defense. But it is early. Things can change. Barring something crazy, though, Rob, like a tie, either the Ravens or the Chiefs will be 1-3, which if you told me either one would be 1-3 before the season started, I would have said you're crazy. So let's do box 15 for the jersey.
Yeah, sounds good.
You have a second, sir.
And then for your Chiefs, gives them a good opportunity to go up against a run defense in quotations.
Right.
So far this year, so Isaiah Pacheco, Kareem Hunt, come on down. Should be a
well, they got to start running the ball, so definitely would be a big one. So jersey break is coming up, box 15. Thank you, guys. Chiefs Ravens, by the way, we're talking about Mahomes in that league leader flex break, and we got the Mahomes crystal helmet. That's the prize at the end of the series. It's going to be a massive game. The Ravens probably should win the game, but given the Chiefs win close games, the Ravens do not. I've had time to think about it. First off, whoever loses that game, Rob, I think they'll make the playoffs regardless. I'm not worried about either team. They're both really good football teams. They'll figure it out. But I'll go the Chiefs start 2-2. Ravens start at 1-3. But with the Joe Burrow injury in the AFC North, they still win the division. They might only need to win 10 games in that division to win it. So I can see that happening. Box 15 coming up. Oh boy! We got a Hall of Famer, guys. Bears legend. One of the best linebackers of all time. It is the late, great Dick Butkus on that Bear jersey.
There we go.
That is very, very nice. That is JSA certified. Don't be in a rush, Larry. Come and get those breaks. Larry Rush in the NFC North. The king of the North, Larry, with the Dick Butkus jersey. He's an Illinois guy through and through. Grew up in Chicago. Played college ball at U of I. Then went on to play with the Bears. One of the scariest players of all time. 8-time Pro Bowler, 5-time first-team All-Pro, 2-time NEA Defensive Player of the Year, one of the best players ever, Dick Butkus. A guy that if you look any old football tape, any videos, etc., you can tell that this is a guy that a lot of players were legitimately scared of, Dick Butkus. Grown men were scared of this guy because he was a vicious player. Nice hit right there. Dick Butkus, also a very fun personality. If you followed his Twitter account before he passed away, a lot of good jokes. He's been in studio here at UA signing autographs in the past. Just an awesome dude. Hall of Famer Dick Butkus for Larry Rush.
Yeah, I mean, rest in peace to the legend, to say the least. And Dick Buck has passed away 2 falls ago at the ripe age of 80. A local legend, of course, in Chicagoland area, part of one of the most esteemed, some of the most esteemed Chicago Bears teams ever. Out of the seasons that he played, Kamen, in his 9 years, I mean, he was a Pro Bowler 8 times. So
8 out of 9.
Doesn't get much better than that. And it's something weirdly enough common in my family. I've told you this before, but he was actually known as the gentle giant in my house. My grandma and Dick Buck has dated for a number of years. So
Who broke up with who?
yeah, so according to her, she never went through a heartbreak in her life. So it sounded like the breaking up part came from her end.
Oh.
So I don't know how much if I can
Okay.
verify that for sure, but
All right.
yeah. So there's a little.
She's probably said Dick Butkus was too focused on football.
No, yeah, either that or I don't know how proud. Maybe my grandma was a little too proud to admit that. But
Maybe.
Either way, so a star-studded jersey and a star-studded relationship that went on in my family quite a number of years
Very
ago.
nice.
But yeah, that's always a fun little thing that I like to
Yeah,
drop in
100%.
here,
100%.
Yeah.
You date a legend, you don't forget about it. So what do we got moving right now, Rob?
Yeah, so we got Justin Birch getting himself into the mystery box for the jerseys. So we just got done with that jersey break there and starting things right back up. But across the board, the next closest that we have actually is the league leaders for the single and the double.
Yes.
So we got 4 left in that double box break for the league leaders, and obviously you and I want to see that because more speed flex is more fun in my world.
So I'll talk about that first, but real quick, let me answer Eric's question. Having a little trouble figuring out how to use the store credit. Wheel spin towards a break, no code to copy and paste. So it's pretty easy, Eric. At checkout, you should have store credit in your account, and you should be able to take that store credit and apply it to said break. So I haven't personally done it because I don't play, but from everything I've heard from the customers, it should be pretty simple. There's a customer in the chat, guys. If you want to help Eric out, let him know. But you're not looking for your email or anything, Eric. There's no email or code. You should be able to just go to checkout, and it should ask you actually when you order, would you like to use your store credit towards the break spots? Let's talk about this League Leader Flex series. So there's multiple ways to look at this series, and I'll get your take here in a second, Rob, because I'm always curious when we have new guys like yourself joining the team, because in the memorabilia collection industry, there's different types of people. There's 3 types of people in this industry. There's those that are looking to just have the coolest looking man cave around. They don't care so much about value because they're going to keep their helmets. That's their pride. You know, you look at your helmet, you look at it, you know, on your desk, on your TV stand, in your house, in your man cave, in your garage, you know, in your basement. You don't care about autograph value so much because to you that helmet is priceless.
Yeah.
That's option 1 of people. That's one way to look at it. A second way to look at it is, how much can I flip this helmet for, right? For example, in this league leader, it's $470 to get in the double box break. A Tom Brady Speedflex is worth about $3,000, the greatest quarterback of all time. If you pair that with the custom Steve Smith Speedflex in the NFC South, these custom flexes are worth around $1,500, give or take in value. Could be a little more, could be a little less. The Chrome Flex is also worth about $1,500. So for the value guys, you want to get the NFC South. You win a Brady, you win an Evans, you win a Smith. You're looking at $4,000 to $5,000 in value here, Rob, which could be a family trip, could be an engagement ring, could be a new dog and a cat if you're a fur baby fan. There's so much you can do with that money if you win it. Then there's the third kind of customer, the one that actually takes a helmet like Tom Brady and they think, I'm going to trade it for 4 of my favorite players, right? Let's say you're, for example, a Viking fan. What could you trade a Tom Brady Speedflex for? A Randy Moss, an Adrian Peterson, and a Chris Carter Speedflex. Yep. A little 3-for-1. That's how valuable Tom Brady Flex is. So that's the collectors. The other way to look at this too, though, is do you care about how good the player is, or do you care about how good the helmet looks? Because the best player in this series is Tom Brady. 7-time Super Bowl champion. He's also the most expensive autograph in memorabilia. And then the second best player and second most expensive autograph is Patrick Mahomes, Although, this is an extremely rare case right now in our break room, Rob, that the most expensive helmet probably is not Tom Brady, because the Crystal Mahomes, this is probably $4,000 to $5,000 in value. Because I know the Swarovski crystals cost about $1,000. Then they charge you about $1,000 to put them on the helmet. The Speedflex alone is close to that. Then you tack on Mahomes' autograph. This is easily worth over $3,000. The most valuable helmet in the game is a Swarovski crystal helmet. There's nothing more valuable as far as monetary value. And this is the bonus prize at the end of the series. So for the guys that like the player names, Mahomes and Brady are the no doubters, Rob. Outside of the Mahomes helmet, though, aesthetically, I'll take your take on this. What's the best looking helmet in the series? Is it the Steve Smith Ice Up Sun with that beautiful paint job? Is it the Chris Johnson with that sort of like Carolina, Argentina blue, as I call it as a Messi fan? Or perhaps maybe you guys like the chromes. There's a 3-tone chrome flex, Mike Evans, the black, the red, and the orange. And then there's also a 2-tone, my 2 favorite colors, the blue and the red go very well together. They were actually showing this in the Chiefs-Giants game over the weekend. And they had a Taylor cam, and everyone thought it was going to be the Taylor Swift cam. It was actually Lawrence Taylor that popped on the camera. So a little fun in New York. I mean, not much to enjoy with the football teams there. So you got to have some fun. But back in Lawrence Taylor's day, there was a lot to enjoy. A league MVP, a Super Bowl champion. Bill Belichick called him the one perfect player he coached. And Bill Belichick also coached Tom Brady. So many legends in here, guys. What do you guys want to see in the league leader Speedflex? And Rob, I'll ask you the question. What's the helmet or helmets you most want in here? Are you looking to sell these? Are you trading these? You keeping these? What do you got your eyes on here?
Yeah, man. So, like, for me personally, it really depends on what you prefer, right? Like, it's all personal preference at the end of the day. For me, I like to, whenever I collect something, especially football related, it's something that I can resonate my childhood with specifically.
Sure.
Excuse me. So a guy that I think of instantly, of course, right away is Arizona Cardinals legend Chris Johnson.
Arizona Cardinal legend.
Of course.
Very loosely.
Of course.
Very loosely you can use that term.
Yeah, too bad he wasn't a CJ2K for us, but... Yeah, I mean, his second year in the league, over 2,000 yards for the Tennessee Titans, 14 touchdowns. He averaged 125 yards per game, Kamen, in his second year in his age 24 season. So one of those great modern-day running backs that had a very, I wouldn't say a short prime because he actually had 6 seasons of over 1,000 yards. But, yeah, that 2009 season was peak. It was one of my first years as an NFL fan. And for me, my favorite football-related show being The League, I just remember a certain scene from that show. I think it was the opening of their season 2, which happened to form, I think, in 2010. Yeah, so they were talking about, so they were deciding their draft order at the airport, and they had to get through customs security and everything, and whoever made out of it first ended up getting the first overall pick. So one of the main guys on the show, Pete, he's getting dragged away by airport security, and he's like, you could body and cavity search me all you want, but all you're gonna find is Tennessee Titans running back Chris Johnson. Right. As he's getting dragged away. So that's one of my favorite memories of CJ2K. But the cool thing about this comment is that regardless of what your purpose is for attacking and going after one of these speed flexes, which regardless if you're collecting it or if you end up wanting to flip it for more value down the line, which you easily can do, I mean, you can't possibly lose in any one of these headliners because it has guys from the past like a Lawrence Taylor, a guy in recent memory like a CJ2K, or even a modern day great like we have with a Patrick Mahomes or even a Mike Evans.
Yeah,
so
I love this, and it's funny you say that because you're kind of quoting a fantasy memory, I guess, from a fantasy show, but
yeah.
For me, my favorite fantasy memory was the first year I ever played fantasy football. I went undefeated. It's never happened since. It probably will never happen again. And I had Steve Smith the year he got the Triple Crown. So this one has a special place in my heart as well. No matter what Don Pellegrini will tell you, I've wiped the playoff game from memory where Steve Smith dominated the Bears. I think about Steve Smith on my fantasy team. Also, you're a video game guy, and I don't play much anymore, but as a kid, I played Madden religiously. One of the fastest rated guys in Madden, always the guy I wanted on my team. That's one, I might keep the Steve Smith. So, for example, I got a wedding coming up, Rob, and weddings, as you might imagine, are not cheap at all whatsoever.
Nope.
So, if I win the Tom Brady helmet, that's a $3,000 helmet, the greatest quarterback of all time. I'm immediately selling that helmet for wedding funds. No doubt about that. The Brady sold. Now, here's the one for me that I struggle with a lot. There's two helmets in here I struggle with. Because I'm a big Mahomes fan. I love Patrick Mahomes. He's the most exciting quarterback I have ever seen. I lived in Missouri for 6 years. I went to school there for 4 years. I worked there 2 years professionally at the CBS affiliate. I even covered a couple of Chief games. We're in Columbia, about 2.5 hours away. So we dipped into some Chiefs coverage. Nothing, on the reg. But you're around that Kansas City football team. You call their highlights. It's kind of hard not to become a Mahomes fan.
Yeah, for sure.
Living in Kansas City during that first Super Bowl run that they had. So this is one where I would struggle. Because I could sell this for $3K. I could probably sell the bonus prize Speedflex, this crystal one, probably for more than $4K easily, Rob. But would I want to? I don't know. But unfortunately, I can't play in the break room. I can't win the Mahomes for $470 or $235. Only you guys can do that in the Speedflex series.
Yeah, I mean, in your situation, look, if you're somebody that is isn't some budget planning for some big moves ahead, like your wedding, for example. If I was your fiance, I would be writing out a check for you.
She would make me sell it.
Yeah, she would take.
I don't know where I would put it. That's the problem. She found out about it. Maybe I should tell her that it's not worth as much as she thinks. By the way, Blake says, for me, the ones I want are running back and wide receiver. Grew up watching Megatron and Moss. There we go. And what's great about you, Blake, you get in that double box break. You can get Randy Moss and Calvin Johnson with one spot in the NFC North. Get them both. And, we also have Jerry Rice in this series. We did pull the Rice. You probably know this already, Rob. If you don't, you'll learn it. When it comes to the greatest of all time, I consider that a longevity award because you're the greatest of all time. You take a peek at your whole career. So Jerry Rice, to me, is the greatest receiver of all time because the guy was getting 1,000 yards at the age of 40. But if you're talking about peak, apex, one season, one play, I mean, Calvin Johnson, the most receiving yards in a single season. Randy Moss, the most receiving touchdowns in a single season. If I had one season, one game, one play, the number one receiver I would pick is Randy Moss, and the number two receiver I would pick is Calvin Johnson. Because both of those guys, and we talk about the quarterback spot, make smart decisions. Don't force the ball. Well, in the case of, Dante Culpepper with Moss, Matthew Stafford with Megatron, the smart football play was actually throw it up in the double coverage and let those guys eat. Yeah. And that was the actual smart football play. Oh, I'm in it. LOL, I'm trying hard for the double. There we go, Blake. Who's in that Speedflex double right now? I'll give him a shout out, Rob. Speedflex double. What do we got in there?
Yeah, definitely. Well, luckily for Blake, already got a lot of action in there. He was the first one to get in that league leader double break.
Is that the Great Leone?
The Great Leone is in there. Mr. Christopher himself, Sean Twigstrom, and John Towton.
What's up, boys?
So four men, four guys looking for some big time speed flexes.
Well, and what's great about the Speed Flex series? I know we use the term "bang for your buck," and I'm not going to lie to anybody. It is definitely the biggest risk to get in here. But for example, you jump into a jersey break for $29. You get a headliner in the jerseys, it's worth a couple $100 maybe. The best names, right? You profit about $200. You jump in here with $470 in the league leader Speedflex break. You get in the NFC South and you win the Tom Brady and the Mike Evans and the Steve Smith. I mean, we're talking about a lid worth over $3K Tom Brady, give or take an autograph retail value. The custom Evans and Steve Smith in the ballpark of $1,500. We're looking at about $4,500 in autograph value. You want to call it $4K on the low end, $5K on the high end, $4,000 to $5,000 for $470 entry point. You could profit up to $4,000 with one spot in the Speedflex double. You can only profit up to $200 in the jerseys. So yes, $29 a spot. If you don't have money to spend, if you're budgeting, it's the lowest risk, but it's also by far the lowest reward. The biggest reward by far is in the Speedflex series. So if you're a risk taker, if you're, go big or go home guy, league leader's for you, right? If you're the guy that does a parlay, you get in the league leader. If you're a singles guy, you might be in the jerseys. What's great about our break room, though, we offer both options up to you guys Looks like the jersey break is sold out there, Rob, or almost sold out.
We are down to one to go. And,
One to go.
Travis Jones, first time popping in. So, Travis, welcome in, my man. Welcome into the UA break room.
Yeah, let us know, Trav, what your favorite team is, how you heard about Ultimate Autographs. Do let us know in that league leader. Actually, technically, Rob, the best bang for your buck, this is actually kind of crazy. And then this is a best case scenario. I'm not going to say that this is guaranteed to you, because it's not. Nothing in life is guaranteed. But for example, if you get the Brady and the Evans Steve Smith double up, we're talking about $4,500 in value. But actually, Rob, if you get one of those statistical categories and you win the category, then you win the Mahomes prize at the end, which is probably worth about $4,500 on its own.
Yeah.
You know, we're looking at $8,000 to $9,000 in value for $470. If you double up and you get the entry for league leaders and you end up hitting the Mahomes. So that's your best reward. For the guys out there that are new to this, that are wondering what the heck is going on, I'll say this. The league leader speed flex break is your 5-leg parlay. That's what it is. That's what you hit. You're going to risk it, but man, if you win big in that series. And just to clarify too, you look at the jerseys, Rob, those are good names in there. Jerome Bettis, Champ Bailey, Warren Moon, Eric Dickerson. Those are the type of guys that are in the and more section. Not only has this series got the most value, it's got the best looking helmets. On top of that, it's got the biggest names, right? I mean, having an autograph of, a good player is cool. Having an autograph of the greatest player of all time, Tom Brady, that's really cool. And you're not going to get a Tom Brady in the jerseys, the minis, the practice squad. Even in the diamonds in the vault, you won't see Tom Brady. Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, typically reserved for big series like the league leaders. So this is where you're going to get the legends. Speaking of Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes, it's one of the more talked about topics out there. I think you and I are very much on the same page in that Mahomes is the best guy we've seen, but Brady obviously has all the accolades right now. Mahomes has a long way to go to pass Brady. He's ahead of schedule, although the skeptics would argue that he's dropped off a little bit the last year or two. I'll do a two-part question for you, Rob. Part one, I will ask you, how many championships does Mahomes have to get to pass up Tom Brady? Because most likely he might end up with more yards, more touchdowns if he plays long enough at least. How many Super Bowls does it need to be in that true GOAT discussion? Because he's in discussion now based on his pace, but if Mahomes doesn't get another few rings, he's not going to be in the discussion when it's over. He's got 3 right now. How many does Mahomes have to win to get in that debate with Tom Brady for the greatest quarterback of all time?
So I think it's a
loaded question.
It's a very loaded question there, Kamen. So first of all, Mahomes just celebrated his 30th birthday a couple days ago, right?
Last week, actually last Wednesday.
So I actually decided to dig my heels a little bit into the research department here and figure out, by the time they turned 30 years of age, some of the greatest quarterbacks of all time and some of the things that they accomplished. So Brady and Mahomes both had 3 championships.
Yep, even there.
Before the age of 30. Joe Montana had 2. A guy like Peyton Manning hadn't won his first championship by the time that he was 30. But by the age of 30, Patrick Mahomes over Tom Brady had a better win percentage, completion percentage, yards per attempt, yards per game, touchdowns, interceptions.
Picks, right?
Less picks.
Yeah.
Higher quarterback rating by far. More rushing touchdowns, more rushing yards, yards per attempt, rush attempts, so on and so forth. So everything that Patrick Mahomes, and he started 16 more games than Brady, but he hasn't beat in all of them. And in terms of playoff quarterback rating, this is something I've talked about quite a lot.
I love that stat.
You're going to like it even more after this. Now, don't disrespect. This is not a Tom Brady rag on Tom Brady hour. It's just to show the greatness of Patrick Mahomes in that conversation before I give you an actual answer. Tom Brady is 23rd all time in playoff passer rating. Patrick Mahomes is 2nd in passer rating all time in the playoffs. Patrick Mahomes over the last 3 seasons, where people like to say that he fell off, he's actually got 18 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 2 Super Bowls, in those 3 years.
Yeah,
that people said.
He's losing it.
So
he's losing it. He's got 18 touchdowns and 3 picks. He's losing it.
Poor guy's gonna have to hang it up soon. So, do I think Mahomes is already the greatest that I've ever seen? But for him to firmly plant his flag in that conversation, I think he's got to get to 5. I think if he wins 2 more by the time that he's 40, I think people will look back and say, yeah, Brady might have 2 more, but at his best, Tom never looked as good as Patrick did at his best. And I'm already there with that right now. So
I'm with you. I'm about that 5 number. Yeah. I'm all about that base. 5. I think 5 is a good number for Mahomes. I think 5 is doable as well with Andy Reid as his head coach. Don't be concerned about the Chiefs 3 weeks in. If they're still struggling come December and January, then we'll talk. What's great about Mahomes, though, I think worst case he ends up being the 2nd best ever. And if that's your worst case, you're pretty darn good. We do have a jersey break coming up, by the way. A jersey break number 2 coming up. And jersey number 2, go ahead and drop me a box number. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the Michael Jordan versus Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. Like it was the 80s, and we were watching Michael Jordan clearly was the best player ever. He just didn't have the championships yet, the accolades. So it felt like he was better than those guys, but he had a lot to prove to surpass them. That's kind of the way I liken, Brady and Mahomes. But the tricky part about Mahomes passing Brady, though, here, Rob, even as the Mahomes guy, I don't know if he's going to be able to do what Brady did post 40, because that's what's the icing on the cake for Brady. Because what he was doing after 40, to me, was just iconic. So that'll be the interesting part. Where's Mahomes at 38, 39, 40? Is he still an all-pro, a Super Bowl champion, MVP-level player like Brady was in his 40s?
No, that's a super high bar to clear there, Kamen. But the reason on why I would lean yes is simply because of the fact, well, one, he has Andy Reid. And I have a hard time believing that Reid either gets the boot or he goes to another team to find greener pastures, because there's not going to be a greener pasture than having Patrick Mahomes as your quarterback. But then on top of that as well, just the QB rules as well. Over the past decade or so, just the ability to actually put the quarterback in harm's way has severely lessened just because of, monetarily how much star players are making, like a guy like Patrick Mahomes. Roger Goodell doesn't want to see, his prized commodities get hurt. Nor he shouldn't. Exactly. So I think because of that, and it's easier to preserve quarterbacks, I think with what Mahomes can do, even if he loses his athleticism,
and he's not even that athletic. He's crafty.
Exactly.
He's crafty.
Yeah, exactly. So
what's great about him and Andy Reid too is that not only is Mahomes chasing Brady, Andy Reid is chasing Belichick. So they're kind of chasing together.
Yeah.
So if you're a few behind, you might want to play a couple extra years to get to those record books. 7 on the dice roll for our jersey break. Box 18 from Eric. Thank you, Eric. Eric Linnell up top in the NFC North. Right below in the NFC South is Angie Nielsen. NFC East is Jordan Birch in here. We got ourselves Justin Birch. Are these guys related? One is Birch, and actually one is Bert XH. Travis Jones, a new guy in the room. Let us know, Travis, what team you like and how you heard about Ultimate Autographs. Dale Severns, AFC South. Eric Linnell, AFC East and AFC West. Actually, I'll get it done right here, Rob.
All right.
But 18 coming up. 1-8.
The Caleb Williams number.
That's right.
After your Chicago Bears had a much needed week 3, but now everybody could breathe in Bearland for this week.
I'll say this because I don't really want to keep the food talk to a minimum on this show because we get very distracted easily when it comes to food. But there's a Chicago hot dog place that tweeted last week, if Caleb throws 4 touchdown passes, they give away hot dogs, and it's actually today.
I saw that.
They're having to give away hot dogs today. Yep. So, can you tell I was happy this weekend? Patrick Mahomes wins, Bears win, Mizzou wins, Inter Miami won for Messi. It was a very, very happy sports weekend for me, Rob. I'm in a good mood today.
Catching dubs all the way around.
Catching dubs, baby. Eric Linnell hoping to catch a dub, calling JJ. Justin Jefferson, the superstar wide receiver for the Minnesota Vikings, who were quite easily catching a dub in their most recent game. Didn't even need the offense to do much. The defense scored enough points to win. Angie Nielsen's got the NFC South, Jordan NFC East, Justin NFC West, Travis AFC North, Dave AFC South, Eric in the East, and Eric in the West. 18 also is the Jettas box, who is a terrific wide receiver. Speaking of terrific wide receivers, one of the best I've seen. We talk about Mahomes plenty. His number one receiver he's ever played with, Tyreek Hill, on the Dolphin jersey. The Cheetah led the league in receiving yards and receiving touchdowns a couple years ago. All-Pro, Pro Bowler, one of the best in the league. AFC East, it is box number mojo, Eric Linnell with the Cheetah, Tyreek Hill. Stuff in Miami right now has been very, very down, not up and down, just down. And there's a lot of rumors out there. Teams like the Chiefs, like the Bills, like the Steelers. These teams could be trading for the Cheetah, Tyreek Hill. Awesome looking jersey. Awesome hit, Eric. I don't want to use the word best because there's a lot of funny nicknames out there, Rob. But I always say Tyreek Hill has the most fitting nickname in sports history. Cheetah. He is that fast. He is that good. Great hit, Eric, on the Tyreek Hill jersey.
Yeah,
very nice.
It doesn't get much better than that. If you really want to just get an understanding, all you got to say is the Cheetah, and people know exactly who you're talking about. That's how much respect Tyreek Hill garners on a football field. But it's also nice to see some blood in the jerseys here. It's good to see my cousin Tyreek. What? Hill. You didn't know? I told you we were related. I told you that. I didn't show you the Hill family barbecue. Him and
you gotta invite me.
The parallels are so similar.
I like it.
But yeah,
very nice.
But also much like his given situation too. Like a dolphin, you just got to keep swimming.
You gotta keep swimming, baby.
Yeah, he had some very high praise for Mike McDaniel, despite their 0-3 starts. So let's see if they can right the ship here for Miami.
Let me get that Dolphin, says Ashley. Get right back in the break room. Ashley, We have the greatest Dolphin of all time in the practice squad, Dan Marino, on a jersey. Which, by the way, I know we're talking plenty about the League Leaders series. This Tyreek Hill jersey is probably a top 3 hit in the jersey series, Rob, right? One of the top 3 hits in that series. In the League Leaders series, with a Tyreek Hill speed flex with an orange visor, that was in the and more section. Tyreek Hill was not even listed in that League Leader series. So get your spots. Get these awesome lids. This Crystal Mahomes flex as the bonus prize. Get this Chris Johnson CJ2K. One of 9 2,000-yard rushers. Terrific lid right here. We do still have available the Patrick Mahomes white speed flex. The best quarterback of his generation, Patrick Mahomes. We're still looking for the Mike Evans 3-tone chrome flex, the black, red, and orange. We're still looking for Lawrence Taylor, the greatest defensive player of all time, on that 2-tone chrome for the Giants. Then we got the Steve Smith with the Ice Up Sun inscription. Now, Interactive Person has a helmet to trade. Coming at the helmets in the break room, you can trade with your fellow break room customers if you would like. We don't take helmets personally, Rob, but you guys are more than welcome to trade with your fellow customers. I got a Tyreek Hill story for you. Have you heard it? Opening on ESPN. I was the lead story on ESPN because of Tyreek Hill. Never heard this story?
No.
It was the first Super Bowl run when I was still working in Missouri. It was the Texans playoff game where they came back. Mahomes had like 5 touchdown passes. They had, I think, 3 to Kelsey. They had something like 5 touchdowns in a row. The game they're on 24-0, 151-31, right?
Yeah.
They ran out of fireworks. So after the game, the media was interviewing Tyreek Hill, and I was one of the few media members there, Rob. That was what I call one-man banding. Everyone's got a photographer. They got people that hold the camera for them. Yep. They just hold the mic. So I'm the guy holding the camera and the mic, running around getting everything. Happens when you're a small-time media guy covering a playoff game with all the big dogs out there.
Yeah.
So lo and behold, there's a media scrum to get to Tyreek Hill. I missed out because I was interviewing someone else at the time. So if you're a radio guy or a print guy, you can get away with not showing his face. But I'm talking about a media scrum where I couldn't get in.
Yeah.
So everyone wraps up with Tyreek Hill. I go up to him at the end, and I was like, "Hey, Tyreek, can I have a few questions?" He's like, "No, man, I got to go. I'm done." He's like, Tyreek, give me 2 questions. I convinced him to talk to me and do an interview. And I ask 1 or 2 questions. All of a sudden, ESPN comes over, and he gets very, very chatty. So it's me and ESPN co-interviewing Tyreek Hill. So the best quote he gave was to the ESPN reporter and myself. So ESPN's open soundbite, only 2 stations that had the soundbite, ESPN
There you go.
and KRCG TV in Missouri. And you see on ESPN, my hand, the mic flag, but not my face. But my hand was on the lead open for SportsCenter and NFL Live that night. So how about that?
Yeah.
Thank you, Cheetah.
Hey,
thank you.
Thanks,
I made it, Rob.
I was going to say, thanks for making my arm famous. Yeah.
Yes.
No, you're 15 seconds of famous, regardless if it's just all of you or just parts of you, or
Yes.
as long as you can get your 15 seconds of fame any way you can get them. But no, that's great. You and I both have been lucky enough to be around some of the most notable pro sports figures that are out there. So
Yeah?
I mean, I've gotten lucky enough to do a Tim Anderson interview myself. So I've been I was lucky enough
did
to
he
do
try
that.
to punch you? No, I'm just kidding.
No, I'm not from Cleveland. Lucky enough. So if I was, it would probably be a different story. But
I got you.
Yeah,
brother.
no, I actually. Well, mine was more of in a very non-professional setting. This was back in 2022.
Sure.
This was early on in the 2022 season. The Sox were coming off of a playoff and division winning season in 2021. So vibes and expectations were high for the Sox, and I was down in the city, very beginning of the year.
Things have changed.
And I actually ended up running into him very much so. And I met him outside of a Michael Jordan Steakhouse
Oh, that's cool.
down in the city. So I was able to just talk to him for like a few minutes and everything. Had my phone out, started recording that. But maybe once we start talking baseball in October, maybe once we get there, I have another crazier baseball story for you that actually led to me being viral.
Okay.
Going viral. So
There's
I'll keep
a tease
that,
for you guys.
I'll keep that in the back pocket. If we get a New York Yankees story that pops up, then I'll make sure to drop that.
All
in
right,
there.
sounds
So,
good. Ashley says that's so cool. Yeah, it's very cool, Ashley. I've actually had the pleasure of interacting with Mahomes as well a little bit. I can't say I know him personally, but he's a very, very awesome dude, Patrick Mahomes. If you're in a locker room, you kind of get to know some of the guys, and you kind of get to know who the guys like. Like Patrick Mahomes, for example, is beloved by his teammates. And, part of being the quarterback, the biggest guy, the biggest name, you got to be loved by your teammates. I mean, you've seen draft day, Bo Callahan. Patrick Mahomes is no Bo Callahan. Everyone goes to his birthday party. Definitely no doubt about that. So, guys, what are we knocking out next? Looks like some more movement in the jerseys. Kenneth jumping in that practice squad. Thank you, Mr. Stanton. Let's see here. We got 5 to go in that practice squad double. Obviously, the best bang for your buck if you win is the Speed Flex break, $470. You get Tom Brady and Mike Evans and Steve Smith, NFC South double up. By the way, a guy I would love to have lunch with, dinner with, a beer, a coffee, whatever it may be, Rob, Mike Evans. You know why? I would love to get his stories on all the quarterbacks he's played with. Tom Brady, obviously the greatest guy he's played with ever, because Tom Brady is the GOAT. But he played with Johnny Manziel in college. By the way, Johnny Manziel in our college reps. He's played with famous Jameis Winston. He's played with Baker Mayfield. Played with a lot of fun personalities, Mike Evans. I would love to just sit next to him and just talk football and kind of get his take on all those quarterbacks. By the way, Mike Evans, here's one for you. So not counting Rob Gronkowski, because Rob Gronkowski by trade is a tight end. Mike Evans might be the second best receiver Brady's ever played with. I think the best, obviously, is Randy Moss. In that record-breaking season, the 07 undefeated Patriots, the single-season receiving touchdown mark for Randy Moss, 23 of them. Actually, Randy Moss and Mike Evans both in the series with Tom Brady. Right? I mean, is Mike Evans the second best receiver for Brady ever?
I would have to say so.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd have to give that over Deion Branch, right?
And
You'd
Julian Edelman.
And Julian Edelman, you'd have to give it. Yeah.
Yeah. It has to be Evans.
Well,
Easily,
once you
I
start
would
saying
say.
the names out loud, you're like, wow, it definitely
Well,
is
that's
Mike
how
Evans.
great Tom Brady was. Gronk, obviously, Gronk was a pass catcher, but not a traditional wide receiver. But you can actually get Brady and his boys, Brady and Evans. You get Moss in here, the League Leader Speed Flex series, which, by the way, the receiving touchdown category, the most receiving touchdowns in a season, 23 by Randy Moss. Right now we have Blake Wilkins with 14 for Jordy Nelson. And then Blake Furman with 15 for Jerry Rice in the receiver category. So whoever gets the Randy Moss will definitely take the lead in the receiving touchdown category, Rob. And there's 5 categories: sacks and picks, receiving touchdowns, receiving yards. There's a rushing yards category, and there's a passing yards category. So if you get the most total yards for a category, you end up winning that category and a 1 in 5 chance at the Crystal Mahomes Speed Flex. So if you have 2 different winners, Rob, for example, if we have 5 entries and we have one guy wins 2, he'll probably win the category. But if, for example, we have 5 different winners, then the guy that gets the Randy Moss helmet will definitely win the category. So you win the Randy Moss helmet for receiving touchdowns, and you get a 1 in 5 chance at the Crystal Mahomes at the end of the series. Pretty good odds. I'm just saying, pretty darn good odds in that series. It's one of those, sort of football what ifs. What if Brady and Moss had played together for longer? Can you imagine how many more touchdowns they each would have? Because, both of those guys, if you think about it, Brady didn't have a lot of great receivers in his career. Moss had some good quarterbacks, but not great. I mean, Culpepper was good, but Moss made him better. He didn't have anybody on the Raiders, obviously. That's part of the problem. Randall Cunningham his rookie year, and you saw what he did that year with, most touchdown catches that year as well. I'm just saying, you pair those 2 guys together for an extended period of time, Tom Brady and Randy Moss, unstoppable.
Yeah, I mean, I think we kind of just got robbed as one of the biggest NFL what ifs with, obviously Brady, the only year that he got hurt.
Next year.
What was that, his broken leg that he had at the start of the 08 season, and we had Matt Castle donning the red, silver, and white.
That's a drop-off.
That year for the Patriots. I still think they were like a 500 team, or they just scraped
No,
into the
they
playoffs.
were actually 10-6,
Yeah.
and they missed the playoffs, which 10-6, I think it's only happened a few times ever. One of them, Lovie Smith and the Bears fired season.
Yep.
So a couple times ever where you go double-digit wins and miss the playoffs.
That's how great that Patriots team still was, though. You could have Matt Castle as your quarterback and still get 10 wins.
I know.
Yeah, so.
Anyway, we're close on that practice squad double, by the way. 2 spots to go. What can you do in a double box break you cannot do in a single box break? You can win 2 items with 1 spot. 2 items with 1 spot is a possibility. There's multiple double ups. The biggest names in memorabilia, just like real life football, Rob, are the quarterbacks. You can get 2 quarterback autographs for $102. Get a Jim Kelly Rave Authentic plus a Dan Marino jersey. Those 2 combined are probably worth over $1,000 combined. But for a fan of football, it would be priceless. 2 Hall of Famers, probably 2 of the best quarterbacks to never win the big one. I mean, obviously Kelly was in the Super Bowl 4 times. Dan Marino was there right off the bat and never got back, Mr. Marino. But, what's great about Dan Marino, he's a guy that is so well respected that even without the ring, universally, at least I personally agree with this, a top 10 quarterback of all time, Dan Marino. And that beautiful, Dolphin jersey, that's priceless right there. We have a double up in the AFC North. You can get a Zay Flowers Speed Flex and a Myles Garrett Authentic, or you get a Myles Garrett Authentic and a Jamar Chase Mini, or a Jamar Chase Mini and a Zay Flowers Speed Flex. Jamar Chase, you could argue the best receiver in the league. Myles Garrett, you could argue the best defensive player in the league. I would argue TJ Watt personally, who's in the Game Day series, but it's Myles Garrett, TJ Watt, and Micah Parsons, right? Those are the top 3 guys. Aiden Hutchinson is knocking on that door, but I would say between Garrett, Watt, and Parsons, those are the best guys on defense. And they're all in the break room regularly. So 2 of them right now. Chris Carter is still out there, by the way, 4th all-time in receiving touchdowns. Randy Moss's former teammate. That was probably the best receiver duo of all time. Randy Moss and Chris Carter together, right? I don't know if we'll ever see 2 wide receivers that good on the same team. I mean, we did have Jerry Rice and Tim Brown, but I would say that Rice and Brown were both on the back end of their career on the 18th hole, pun intended. So a lot of good stuff in this trick play practice squad, guys. Come and get that as well. Eddie George and that Oilers Speed Flex with the blue visor. Only 2 spots to go. Let's get that knocked out next. Travis Jones, you do not have to pick a number because your break already happened. Unfortunately, Trav, you did not win. You were in the Jersey break. You had the AFC North. We had an AFC East hit, the Tyreek Hill jersey. You did not win, Travis. It's a 1 in 8 chance to win for every spot you buy. Unfortunately, you did not win, my man. 1 to go on that practice squad double, though. That is most definitely coming up. The practice squad double. So I'll go ahead and drop that link in the chat for you guys as we are talking about practice. Zay Flowers was contained last night, but he's been off to a great start. One of the best receivers after 2 weeks. How do I know that? Because he's on my fiance's fantasy team, and she's always bragging on him, Zay Flowers. How good he's doing. She's like, I like his name, Flowers. I'm like, respect.
Respect,
a great reason to pick him.
Yeah, it's been coming up all roses so far for Zay Flower
Very
fans.
nice.
Yeah,
Very
it did come up flowers for me last night, though, as I have Lamar as my starting fantasy quarterback, and I went up against Zay Flowers. So Lamar hung up a 27 burger and didn't even look at Zay that much. So it was a win-win all around.
She was not happy.
She was not happy, but anybody would easily be happy with Zay Flowers going home.
Yeah, he didn't do well last night after 2 great weeks, but give him 1 off week. He's going to be very, very hungry, definitely next week. Looks like that practice squad double is sold out.
It is gone.
Thank you, guys. Practice squad double number 4. Go ahead and drop me 2 box numbers. I will also drop some links in the chat, guys. The Speed Flex double, 15 boxes left, 12 headliners left. Speed Flex double, 4 spots to go. Let's go Raiders, says Anthony. What's up, Anthony? Got a lot of good Raiders stuff in the break room, my man. Come and get it. Here's the Speedflex single. 5 spots to go in that one. So Eric wants 7 and 13. Thank you, Eric. 7 and 13 as we're talking about practice. Not the game. We're talking about practice here in the break room.
Yes, sir.
A little bit of Allen Iverson. Speaking of rants, one of my favorite rants of all time. I'm a man, I'm 40. Mike Gundy got fired today at Oklahoma State.
I saw that.
After 21 years and a rough start this year, Mike Gundy is no longer 40, and he's no longer employed at Oklahoma State.
That is
unfortunately
one of the craziest transitions I've heard you make.
You're welcome. I love a good transition.
But
I love a good transition.
It's a very accurate one, though.
Hey, Anthony, are you a Cardinal fan? I guess he says he's a Raider fan. But Rob's a Cardinal fan, and you're not even from Arizona.
What's up, brother? Yeah, so I've been a Cardinals fan for all of 5 years, but
there we go.
But we're going strong here in Bird Gang country, so always good to see fellow Cardinals fans. Hello from Arizona.
Let me answer this question real quick. He's asking,
Anthony?
I'm new here. How does this work? So, Anthony, that's a great question. First off, let me drop the live break page link for you, brother. This is where all the autograph and memorabilia spots are purchased. You can watch on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. So first off, I strongly recommend watching this video in the top right-hand corner, the live breaks explainer. Second off, there's a rules and guidelines page as well that breaks down more of what we do and how we do it. So I recommend reading through this. I'm going to give you the condensed version. Also, good news, Anthony, there's a break coming up that's going to show us exactly how this works. So basically, for the most part, we run 8-spot NFL divisional breaks. Boxes 7 and 13 were first, Rob. So 8-spot divisional breaks. If you get, for example, in the Speed Flex series, the NFC South, and Tom Brady and Mike Evans come out, you win both helmets with 1 spot. In a double box break, you keep your same spot for both boxes. In a single box break, 1 box comes out. So let's just say, for example, you have the NFC South, you get the Brady helmet worth over $3,000. You're sitting there happy, right? But what if the NFC North comes out? The Randy Moss Speedflex comes out. Unfortunately, if you had the NFC South, then you don't win. It's a 1 in 8 chance for every spot you buy, though. You buy 4 spots, for example, you would have a 50% chance to win in half the divisions. You are randomized.
Let me get this back. Sorry.
Wrong box?
Wrong box.
Wow, you caught it. That's okay. 13 and 7. So, for example, Anthony, we have a dice roll at the bottom of the screen, which is 7. I rolled these 2 virtual dice at the beginning of the show. It was a 3 and a 4. So that's going to be the 7 times I randomize the 8 customers in the break for this series. So we have Alfredo Liscido, Heath Stefan, Sean Blasco, Kenneth Stanton, Cody Myers, Eric Linnell, and Matt Bruffy. So, for example, Cody has 2 spots. You're not limited to buy only 1 spot in the break. You can buy 2. You can buy 8 if you want. Guarantee yourself to win. So I'm going to take the names in this list here, and I'm going to randomize 7 times because that was the dice roll at the start of the show. So I'll show you how I do this. Random.org, my BFF on weeknights, Rob. 4, 5, 6, and 7 clicks. So the top name is Heath Stefan. The top division we have up here is the NFC North. Right below is Matt Bruffy in the NFC South. Alfredo Lisciado, who, Alfredo is a guy I like because I love a little Alfredo pasta, some of the best, Rob. We have Kenneth Stanton in the NFC West, Sean Blasco, AFC North, Eric Linnell, AFC South, Cody Myers, AFC East, and Cody Myers, AFC West. So Anthony Heath, for example, has the NFC North. If a Bear, Packer, Viking, or Lion comes out, Heath wins. If one of the NFC North teams does not come out, Heath would not win. Now, Cody, by the way, has 2 spots. He's got the AFC East and the AFC West. Could get a Dan Marino jersey, a Jim Kelly authentic in that AFC East spot. I think we got, I believe, a mini helmet here, Rob, though. Got a mini helmet.
Like myself a good mini.
Dude, I love every memorabilia we have. This is probably my least favorite. I still love it because it looks cool, but probably my least favorite memorabilia we pull. And you'll never hear me say anything bad about what we have because it's all great. But as a Chief fan, this one stings a little bit. It's the Super Bowl Eagle helmet, the Super Bowl champion mini. Brandon Graham, who, by the way, speaking of Mahomes and Brady, both in that League Leader Speed Flex series, the 2 best quarterbacks of all time, arguably, when it's all said and done. Brandon Graham and the Eagles beat him head-to-head, both. And Brandon Graham not only knocked off Tom Brady, he got the strip sack to end the game from his fellow Michigan man, Tom Brady. Long Eagle career, very successful one at that. Super Bowl champion ×2, former Pro Bowler. Very nice, Alfredo. You got the Brandon Graham Super Bowl champion mini for the Eagles. Part of that Philly special Super Bowl, the original one, and then the one this last year, which was probably my least enjoyable Super Bowl ever as a football fan. That Bears-Colts one was not fun either, but I was also a Manning fan, and on some levels, I was happy for Peyton. I was not happy with anything in that Chiefs-Eagles game. Not much to be happy about, Rob.
I was going to say, that's a totally understandable response.
Yeah.
To wait all season just to get to the big dance and for you guys to forget how to dance. That's okay, though. It's a very rare instance in where Kansas City has looked like that. There's going to be many more opportunities for you guys. But
only twice. The year against the Bucs with Brady and the year against the Eagles. The other times, you can't win every game, but they've only had those 2 bad games, and both at the wrong time, unfortunately.
I was going to say, as a Chiefs fan, I think that you guys have had a little bit more fun than most teams have had over this past decade. So
that's right.
It can't always go your guys' way.
I like focusing on the positives. I like that mentality, Rob, no doubt.
Speaking of focusing on the positives, though, for Brandon Graham, talk about a guy that's never going to have to buy a drink in the city of Philadelphia ever.
Free drinks, free beers, free cheesesteaks, everything free for Brandon Graham. I need an Oilers lid, says Eric. Well, how about, Eric, a potentially an Eddie George speed flex? The Tennessee Titan all-time leading rusher did start as a Houston Oiler, Eddie George. Box 13, could it be lucky number 13, perhaps? Could we have lucky number 13 here in the break room. Pretty heavy box. I'm pretty sure it's not a mini helmet this time, Rob. It is, in fact, a full-size, authentic lid coming up.
Okay.
Ooh, this guy actually a former Eagle as well, but mostly known for his time in Minnesota. All I do is catch touchdowns. All this man did. Chris Carter, 4th all-time in receiving touchdowns. One of the best receivers ever. Heath Stefan, congrats on your Chris Carter Viking authentic helmet right there.
Very nice.
So history of the NFL, Rob. Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, who, by the way, available in that Speed Flex series, and Terrell Owens. 3 guys ever with more receiving touchdowns than Chris Carter. A man that keeps very, very good company. An awesome lid, Heath. Chris Carter, without the H, C-R-I-S Carter.
Yeah.
Awesome lid. One of the OG guys at one-handed catches, that OBJ catch. Chris Carter making those grabs long before OBJ. The man had hands.
Yeah, 3 times he led the league in receiving touchdowns. He was a receptions leader as well in 1994. So out of his 8 Pro Bowls, he made all 8 of them consecutively, Kamen, from 93 to 2000.
Consistent.
Yeah, Mr. Consistent. I'm a guy. I know you like your longevity for your wide receivers, which Chris Carter certainly had. But I'm a peaks guy, and this is a guy who, alongside his 8 Pro Bowls, coinciding with that, he actually had 8 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons, which is really, really incredible to me. And you're flirting with double-digit receiving touchdowns every year, which is incredibly hard to do. Yeah, one of the greatest ever, man.
No doubt. He's
Chris
right in
Carter.
that top 5 category-ish. You know, if not top 5, definitely top 10. Nice hit, says Eric. Nice hit indeed on the Chris Carter authentic. Very nice. Heath got that lid. It was a double box, just over $100. Obviously, this lid worth way more than that on one of the all-time greats, Chris Carter. Can you do me a favor, Rob? I think we'll just roll with the single for now. Can you just take down the vault? Just draft up the double so we just don't have folks buying in. Kind of give them those less options.
Yeah,
We'll take that vault double down. Appreciate it, brother. And what do you guys want to knock out next? What would you guys like to knock out next? We're getting close on our jersey break. 4 spots to go. We got all the headliners out there except for Dig Butkus and Tyreek Hill. We're getting close on that Speed Flex break. Again, guys, many times, Rob, the most expensive stuff in life, unfortunately, it is true, not always, but very often, the most expensive stuff is the best stuff. And in this series, that is most definitely the case. The most valuable items in the room right now, the 3 most valuable items currently in the room for both autograph value and just general football value are all in this series. We got a Tom Brady Buccaneers Speed Flex. We're talking about the greatest quarterback of all time. We got a Patrick Mahomes Crystal Speed Flex, which this thing is worth 4 to 5K easy. Then a Patrick Mahomes white Speed Flex for the Chiefs. So about $3,000 for a Brady Speed Flex retail value. About $3,000 for the custom Mahomes Speed Flex. Could be a little bit less, could be a little bit more, depending on where you sell or trade your helmets. But definitely in that ballpark. The crystal one, obviously, is in that 4 to 5K for a Mahomes. I know the Brady crystals are going for 5K easy, which make the Mahomes go for 4K plus easy as well, Rob. These are the best helmets out there. This Mahomes crystal, which is the bonus prize at the end of the series, has not been hit. That series, by the way, just to clarify the league leaders in case you just joined us, which, by the way, I know a bunch of other folks joined us, Rob, because in the last 5 minutes, went from 20 viewers to 30 viewers. So, hi, Mom.
A lot of eyeballs.
A lot of eyeballs.
Yeah, a lot
My
of
mom
eyeballs
is not watching, unfortunately. She says the show is too confusing, but I'll try to simplify it as best I can. So this series, but probably the most confusing one we have, but still an incredible value. The League Leader Speed Flex series features only players who have led or tied for the league lead in various statistical categories. The categories are passing yards, rushing yards, receiving touchdowns, and sacks/interceptions. Participants in the series will accumulate these stats, and at the end of the series, the leaders in each category will have an entry into a drawing for a Swarovski Crystal Patrick Mahomes Speed Flex. For example, if you pull the Tom Brady Patriots Speed Flex, then you'll have 4,557 passing yards. So 5 categories. Each category winner has a 1 in 5 chance at winning the Mahomes Crystal lid that you see right here. Besides that, though, every box is a Speed Flex, Rob. The Speed Flex helmet is the most valuable helmet in the memorabilia industry. A Speed Flex helmet unautographed, typically worth about $700, give or take. You tack on an autograph, you tack on a visor, an inscription. These tend to be worth over $1,000. In the case of Mahomes and Brady, pushing $3,000. Some of the custom ones, like a Chris Johnson custom rip Speed Flex, this could go for $1,500, could go for more. You find a Tennessee Titan and East Carolina fan that likes both of those teams, they might give you $2K for that CJ 2K. Get it? CJ 2K on that helmet with the 2K club inscription. One of the fastest players in football history. What's that saying in football? You can't teach speed? Well, that's something that, doesn't just show up on tape on the football field. Different with Chris Johnson, one of the best peak running backs ever. By the way, fun little fact, if you take rushing yards and receiving yards in a single season, he has more rushing and receiving yards in a single season than any player in football history. Chris Johnson.
Crazy.
That is absolutely crazy. Almost as crazy how good that helmet looks for the CJ 2K, still available.
You know, when people talk about Titans' great running backs, you automatically think of Eddie George and Derrick Henry, but the guy that had the best season in a Titans uniform offensively is right
CJ
there.
2K.
So really quick, before we end up getting to, because Cody's a man possessed right now getting into some of these breaks, but Kamen, just want to make sure you want the double down?
For the vault, yes.
For the vault, just the single?
Just the single.
Okay.
Thank you, brother.
Just want to make sure.
We got Lawrence Taylor as well. Still available in this series, the two-tone, the red and blue Speed Flex LT. Very, very nice lid. One of 2 defensive players ever to get the MVP. Led the league in sacks before. The guy has done literally everything, Lawrence Taylor. Then, of course, the Steve Smith Sr., kind of interesting with him. Is he going to be the receiving yards or receiving touchdown category? Because he led the NFL in both in the same season.
Yep.
One of 5 Triple Crown winners in NFL history since the merger. Steve Smith, Jamar Chase, Cooper Kupp, Jerry Rice, and Sterling Sharp. Group of 5. Steve Smith. Also 8th all-time in receiving touchdowns. A beautiful autograph right there with the Ice Up Sun on that helmet. Now, guys, for $470 in the double, you get the custom Steve Smith worth around $1,500. You snag the Tom Brady worth around $3,000. You get about $4,500 in autograph value. Give or take a few hundred. Might be a little less, might be a little more. But whether it's $4,000 or $5,000, Rob, for $470 if you win, that is a bargain. Also got the Mike Evans in here. The 3-tone chrome Speed Flex. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that are calling them the comeback kids these days. 3-0 and all 4 comeback wins, scoring late in those games for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I know Aaron Glenn was pumped with that blocked kick, but they gave the Bake Show too much time, and the Bake Show baked. Mike Evans, by the way, the number 1 guy he's out there baking with, the best receiver for the Bucs team. So I know Sean Blasco's in the break room right now. Sean's a Bucs fan. He can get the Mike Evans and the Tom Brady for $470 in his PC. That would be highway robbery here. The single, by the way, in the Speed Flex break is $235. I know I'm talking about the double, $470, over $4,000 in value, but $235, you win a Brady lid, a Mahomes lid worth, around $3K, $235 for a $3,000 helmet. I know it's not actually that crazy either because there's only 15 of these left. Mahomes and Brady odds are getting better and better here, Rob.
Yeah, and there's only 2 spots left. that are
it's going
available.
to
in
happen
that.
here shortly.
So it definitely is sooner rather than later. And like you said, I'm a huge numbers guy, man. I like to play the advantages. Anything that I think can statistically can give me a better chance of landing something that I want, whether it's for my trophy room, whether it's for my man cave, whether it's for my dog, whoever it might be for, that I could flip for possible resale value as well. You have a 12 and 15 chance of getting one of those photoed headliners available. So for just being 2 spots away, shout out to Cody Myers once again. He has narrowed it down to 2 spots left. Any one of those can get you, 10, 15, even possibly 20 times extra money if you're looking to resell one of those bad boys.
Yeah, so the headliners left, by the way, for anyone just watching right now, there's 15 boxes left. 9 photoed headliners, 3 secondary. All of these are speed flexes. Calvin Johnson, top 5 apex receiver of all time. Steve Smith, top 10 receiver ever. Chris Johnson, a terrific running back. Tom Brady, the greatest quarterback ever. Mike Evans, he'll be top 5 in every receiving category by the time he retires. Lawrence Taylor, the greatest defensive player ever.
Yeah.
DeMarcus Ware, a name we almost never get in the break room. A terrific pass rusher. We have Randy Moss, one of the most expensive wide receiver autographs on that Winter Warriors speed flex. For me, the greatest Viking ever. Then we got Patrick Mahomes, the most expensive active player autograph in the NFL. And when it comes to memorabilia, there's a few things I would love to collect as a fan of memorabilia. There's several things I recommend. So first off, I say you want to get the top 10 quarterbacks of all time in your collection. You get Mahomes and Brady, you have arguably the top 2, you're off and running. The other thing I would love to get, this is really good whether you're looking to keep it, sell it, or trade it, because I'm always thinking to myself, who's the best player in a given franchise and who's the most popular player? So for example, if you're a Viking fan, who's the guy you most want? And if you win a Viking helmet and you know a Viking person, who's the one that's easiest to trade? All due respect to Fran Tarkenton, John Randall, even Adrian Peterson, the greatest Viking ever is Randy Moss. You have the chance of the greatest Viking ever in this series. Calvin Johnson, probably the second best line behind Barry Sanders. Steve Smith Sr., along with Julius Peppers, probably the best Panther ever. Tom Brady didn't play with the Bucs for long, but when you think about Bucs players, he's the best player to ever wear a Bucs uniform. Mike Evans, the best longevity of any Bucs offensive player. Now, Lawrence Taylor, I would say hands down the greatest Giant ever. And then obviously Patrick Mahomes, not even close, the greatest Chief ever. So you're getting yourself the best players in the given history of a franchise and the best players at each position. The 2 best quarterbacks, Brady and Mahomes. 2 best receivers, Moss and Rice. We did pull Rice. But Megatron also, one of the best receivers ever. So you're getting the best of the best in this series. There's no series we have like the League Leader series where you're going to get names this good. Now, obviously the most value because they're speed flexes, but Tyreek Hill, what we pulled earlier, was a photoed headliner in the jerseys. I pulled Tyreek Hill in this series on Friday, Rob. He does not appear anywhere on this list. Not a photoed headliner, not a secondary headliner. Tyreek Hill hiding out in the and more section.
Crazy.
That's wild.
Yeah, no, it is.
That's wild how good that series is.
Yeah, especially for a guy who just in recent years led the league in receiving yards, and that's obviously what you're trying to play for in this series, So you don't exactly need to get a photo headliner for you to get maximum amounts of success. So,
amen.
And even if you don't end up getting somebody that ends up being a league leader, you still end up getting either a current legend or somebody who's already well established themselves in Canton.
Well, everyone's been a league leader at least one point in their career in this series, which is impressive.
Very, very impressive.
So
it's how excited I am for this series, Kamen. This
flex
is one of
single,
our best.
2 to go, guys. Let's get that done. Let's flex on them here in the break room. Flex on our customers. The jersey break is 4 to go as well. UltimateAutographs.com here, guys. The beautiful studio. A lot of awesome lids on the table. Kurt Warner, Chris Carter, the Ray Lewis. Let's definitely make it happen. Who's going to get that speed flex break closed out? Jersey break is 4 to go. Also going to happen here soon in the jerseys. We are knocking on that door in multiple of these breaks. Who's going to get them closed up? And you know that flex series, 10 is about the magic number, Rob. When it gets down to 10 boxes and there's Mahomes or Brady left, we're chasing like crazy. We're at 15 right now, but the singles 2 to go, the doubles 4 to go. That would put us at 13. And once we're at 13, we get down to 10, it'll be done in about an hour. That's how quick it goes. What do we got orders coming into here?
We got Mr. Ken Stanton going into the jerseys.
All right, Kenneth jumping in the jersey break.
We are down to 3 in that, and I know Kenneth has been it's been all over the board tonight, which is good to see. So
Kenneth's out there dominating, Mr. Stanton, out there dominating on that break page. Thank you, Kenneth. Who's going to get that speed flex closed up? 2 spots to go. Imagine, we get this a lot. Dom referenced it earlier. You'll see this a lot, Rob. We have the classic, I was going to get in, but then I got locked out. Someone got him before me. Hurry up and get those 2 spots while you can. In the meantime, get the 4 spots in the double as well. 2 boxes coming out of that double box break. I always recommend the double box breaks personally, Rob, because you cannot win, 2 helmets in a single box break. Only place to win 2 helmets is a double box or a quad box break. So you keep your same division for both spots. We currently have a bunch of double ups. Randy Moss and Calvin Johnson for the NFC North. Tom Brady, Mike Evans, Steve Smith Sr. for the NFC South. Lawrence Taylor, DeMarcus Ware in the NFC East. That Mahomes helmet, by the way, there's a secondary headliner, Terrell Davis, in this series. That would be the AFC West as well. So you win 2 speed flexes, you're looking at probably north of $2,000 in value. In the case of winning a Brady and an Evans or a Brady and a Smith, we're looking at north of $4,000 in value. So that 470 all of a sudden doesn't look too bad. Now I'll say this, Rob. There's not a single speed flex in this series that's worth less than 470. No. The helmet alone before the autograph is worth about $200 more than that. So obviously you want to profit big time when Brady, win Mahomes, win Moss, win these big names. But even if you win one of our and more section, which by the way was a league leader at some point in their career, you're going to get your money's worth if you win with 1 spot. It is impossible to win with 1 spot in the single or double and not profit in here. For example, you win with 1 spot in the jerseys, you profit $100, $200, depending on what you get. You win with 1 spot in here, you profit probably over $1,000. In the case of Brady, over $2,000-$3,000. So this is your best profit margin. If you're going to buy 8 spots in the jerseys or 4 spots or 3 spots, if you're going to buy multiple spots, I get why you might play the jerseys. But if you're going to buy only 1 spot and you're going to play 8 times with 1 spot, you should only ever play the most expensive break because that's the over time you win one of those 8 and you'll profit the most definitely if you win in the League Leader Flex Series.
Yeah,
that is the place to be, guys.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you and I, Kamen, we are both glass half full instead of half empty type of observers. So when it comes to looking at a series like this, especially, I would like to get into the double box break myself.
Well, we're bougie, Rob.
Yeah, we are. I mean, I don't know if that's I don't know if you knew this, but that's actually my middle name.
Bougie.
That was given to me by my older cousin, Tyreek Hill.
Right.
So when you guys want to get into now again, even if you end up looking at the price point that, to some people it may look a little bit more daunting, but with everything that Kamen has gone through, regardless, you're going to end up profiting. If you're somebody that ends up looking at, what's the greatest maximization I can get for my dollar? Now, there's a realistic chance, Kamen, that you can end up doubling up in that League Leader Series if you get into the double box. And then you're talking about, serious, four-figure value. If you were able to double up in that. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm guessing break 14 Frenchman is you're talking about are you talking about the Vault series? I know we have 6 to go in that Vault single. That one is not sold out yet, brother. But we have a lot of breaks up. So if you have a series name and an order number, does make it easier. But I'm guessing he's talking about the Vault break is what he's probably talking about. So good evening, Derek. Good evening, my man. My fiance doesn't let me take her to McDonald's or Taco Bell, Rob. She makes me take her to the fancy restaurants. So that's why I wanted the Speedflex break, not the Jersey break. I want the fancy stuff. Everybody loves McDonald's and Taco Bell, but you take your significant other on a fancy date there, you might no longer be together.
It's not so fancy, is it?
So that's why I like the Speedflex break personally. Jersey break is sold out, right?
It is indeed.
Jersey break is sold out here. Jersey single number 3 coming up. Go ahead and drop me a box number, guys. Let's Jersey here in the UA live break room. Definitely having a blast tonight. That Speedflex single down to 2. The Speedflex double down to 4. And then that vault break is 6 to go, Frenchmen. That one may happen tonight, may not. If it does not happen tonight, it would carry over to tomorrow's 9, 12, 3, or 6 p.m. show. So third Jersey break coming up. Rob's getting that list finalized. If you are in that break, though, go ahead and drop that box number in for the Jersey break. And then only 2 to go in that Speedflex series. 2 to go in that single, potentially for a Tom Brady. Kenneth with box 19. Thank you, Kenneth. I'll get 19 off the ticker, brother. Do appreciate it. 19 works. The Joe Montana Chiefs number, 19. How about that? That did happen.
Yeah.
Joe Montana, 19 on the Chiefs, which is crazy for sure.
Names are all good for you there. What was the number again? Kamen 19?
19, yes, sir.
Joe
Justin Birch,
Montana.
Jordan Birch. Are you guys brothers, Justin and Jordan? Brothers, father, son, maybe? Let us know. There's actually there's a Hunter Birch too. So there's the whole fam's in here, guys. Let us know. We got Gina Hornack in here as well. What's up, Gina? New customer. And honestly, pretty much, look at Vanna White over here. Rob Hill, Vanna White's the same person. I was going to say, Rob, a lot of new people in this series. If you are a new customer, guys, please let us know what team you like and how you heard about Ultimate Autographs. Let us know the new blood. Common with prices at fast food. I would rather pay an extra maybe $5 to get a real burger at a pub. I can respect that, Derek.
It's a great point.
I'll say this. You can win a Speedflex helmet and win burgers for the year, right? I mean, you're not going to eat a burger every meal unless you want to die. So you win a Tom Brady Speedflex, you might have enough money to get yourself burgers for 2 or 3 years, Rob.
And we do not encourage death here at Ultimate Autographs in the break room. So
for sure.
We want you guys full, happy, healthy, and buying into these breaks. So,
you know what I call it, the pub burger? If the fancy restaurant, the McDonald's is the jerseys, the fancy restaurant is the Speedflex break, the pub burger is the practice squad.
Yeah.
You can still get a Speedflex, a little bit lesser name, maybe not a custom, but if you're a pub burger fan, you go in the practice squad. You still get some really good stuff at a value in there as well.
You know what I consider to be the my value burger? I would throw this. You know what, Common? I would be as confident as to call this a Hail Mary Diamond.
Okay.
Red Robin.
That's good stuff. Red Robin is good.
Red Robin is an underrated gem.
No doubt. You get the free fries as well. We got ourselves the break set up. Hunter Birch in the NFC North. Jordan Birch in the NFC South. Kenneth Stanton, NFC East. Hunter Birch, NFC West. Justin Birch, AFC North. Gina Hornack, AFC South. Larry Rush, AFC East. And Justin, AFC West. So we're all brothers, says Justin.
That's cool.
First off, Justin, who's the smart brother? Who's the pretty brother? And who's the dumb brother, right? I want to know. And more importantly, what team do you guys like? Do you guys both like, all three of you like the same team, or are you guys rivals? Like, I call Dom Pellegrini my brother from another mother, and he's a Packer fan, so we're rivals, Dom and I. So, and we got box 19 coming up. Ooh, here we go. Here we go. It's the Danimal, Dan Hampton, Pro Football Hall of Famer, a member of that 85 Bears defense, also a college Hall of Famer out of Arkansas, a 4-time Pro Bowler, nice and big autograph, Hall of Fame 2002 Dan Hampton. It's Hunter. Hunter Birch is the Birch brother that's out here winning JSA certified on the Dan Hampton. Supersize me, says Derek. Well, Supersize is the Speedflex series. That's the heavy stuff. I know Derek's a big-time Lions fan. We got the second best Lion of all time, Calvin Johnson, available on that Speedflex. Megatron. Also, the mic test that I always use here at UA.
Yep.
There's a story behind that. Do you know the story?
I do not. I'm still trying to gather all of the stories.
There's a lot of stories, Rob.
There's a lot, yeah.
So, Colin, you've met Colin.
I have.
Colin Rudisil and I were testing out a new mic setup, and we were kind of testing the new video, the mic, just the look and feel of the studio at the time. And we had a Calvin Johnson helmet as our test helmet. So I would be like, Megatron, Megatron on the mic check. And ever since then, that was always my mic check routine, Megatron.
I like it. I like
respect to one of the best wideouts ever in that Speedflex series.
You know, if we're all about giving out respect here in the break room, which we try to do as often as we can, how about let's give some respect to Jason and Jay for closing out the league leader.
Jason and Jay Bowerson?
Jay Bowerson and Jason Somorski?
Okay. Thank you, guys. Jay and Jay, guys. Appreciate that. These are the guys that know what's going on. The big dogs in here getting in the best break in the room, no doubt. Entries for the Bear helmet. Last I heard, we had one, Derek, but that was as of last Friday, so not sure how many entries we have yet. We do have a referral program as part of the Signature Club Rewards program. If you give your friend 50, they spend 50, use your 50, you get a $50 gift card as well. Plus, you're entered in a chance to win that Bears 85 Speedflex through that referral program. So no doubt a great thing to do on that Sig Club Rewards program. So this is the single coming up, Speedflex single. Go ahead and drop me a box number. The best break in the room we have. All Speedflexes, by far the best break we have, actually. Sometimes there's a debate, Rob, what the best break is currently. The Speedflex break is by far the best right now. No doubt about that. You know, Brady, Mahomes, a lot of goodies in here. So Rob will get that list finalized. If you are in that break, though, go ahead and drop me a box number, guys. Where's the great Leone? Chris Leone was in there earlier.
Yeah.
Got to get our guy Chris in here balling in that series.
He's out there somewhere.
You've already heard me say this, Rob, and you saw it already in practice, I believe, multiple times. But the night show, right around 8 p.m. Central Time is when things start to heat up. We're hitting that 8 p.m. hour where the big dogs come howling here in the break room.
Yeah, we've had a lot of eyeballs on tonight, which is great too. Very nice of you guys to spend your Tuesday evening with us, and we're looking to make a lot more room for everybody because we're looking to refill back into some of these rooms. So.
Is that Christopher Leone or Christopher Lee? I don't know. It says Christopher Lee. I'll put Leone. I'm guessing it's Chris Leone. Or is that a different guy, Christopher Lee? I guess I'll leave it at what it was.
Yeah, it was Christopher Lee.
Okay. So
yeah, not Count Dooku. If he does happen to be in the chat, or
I gotcha.
or Dracula. I mean,
Okay.
it is nighttime, so maybe he is. But
actually, it's a different guy. Than not Christopher Leone. Christopher Lee.
it is Christopher Lee.
All right. We got Fred Bowledge, Brian McNaught, Kenneth Stanton, Cody Myers, Jason Smorosky, and Jay Bowerson. Need a box number, guys, for the best break we offer. Jason with 3. Thank you, Jason. The jersey that just came out was Dan Hampton, the Chicago Bear legend, as we call him, the Danimo here in Chicago. I don't think he's currently in Burr Ridge. I could be wrong, but we are based out of Burr Ridge, Rob. And I know Dan Hampton lived in Burr Ridge at least at one point. Now, I know he's also been in studio here signing autographs.
Very few nicer places around here than Burr Ridge.
Yeah, it's a nice area here in Chicagoland.
So number 3.
Number 3. Thank you, my man.
Let's see if I can work some of. I actually.
Are you gonna guess what's gonna happen?
Did you see that over the weekend? I actually called in our last mini series. I called the right box. Ammo was in the last.
Okay. All right. Nostra Robis.
I'm gonna try to see what I can.
All right. Well, let's play. Let's have fun. I'm gonna guess Mike Evans because he's grossly underrated.
Yeah.
And this is a single box. I'll go with Mike Evans.
Just because we talked about this guy a lot tonight, let's get some CJ2K.
Ooh, a little Beetlejuice moment, maybe, right?
Yeah, let's do it.
So I know one thing for sure. This is a guaranteed speed flex and a guy that was a league leader at some point. And real quick, Rob, before you forget, this bad boy up here.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
So Christopher down the J, guys, will go 7 times. Good luck in the league leaders speed flex break. All speed flexes, guys, only the best of the best in this series. Come and get your spots. That double, by the way, is only 4 spots to go, Rob. So that double should also happen here shortly. All speed flexes. No joke, that series is sick. That's the Cardinal Kurt Warner. Yes, Jay, out of the vault. Very nice lid. No doubt about that. Tiki Barber, okay. I think he did lead the league in rushing once, maybe. I know we have 15 boxes left, 12 headliners. Tiki Barber is not a headliner, so I guess he could be one of those 3 other hits. I guess we'll find out. Jason Smorosky has the NFC North. Right below in the NFC South is Brian McNaught. Christopher Lee in the NFC East. Fred Bowidge, the NFC West. Cody Myers, the AFC North. Kenneth Stanton, AFC South. Jay Bowerson, AFC East. And Cody, you got the Mahomes spot, brother, AFC West. The Brady left is the Bucks Brady. That's the NFC South. And there's Brian McNaught here. All right, guys. Box 3 out of 30 in the league leaders speed flex break. Every box in here is a speed flex. The most valuable lid what the pros wear in the games. Except for ours, I would argue, are better, Rob, because they're custom speed flexes. Stuff you don't see in the games often. Many of them are, at least. Ooh. Oh! Wow. This is one of my favorite inscriptions we ever get in the break room. And this is what we call closer magic. We said 12 headliners in 15 boxes. It's now 12 headliners in 14 boxes.
Ooh.
We got the Ricky Williams hitting holes and smoking bowls inscription.
Love it.
How about that, Ricky Williams? Jay Bowerson, the beautiful Dolphin Rave. Ricky Williams led the league in rushing yards in, I believe, 2002. Let's confirm, Rob. In 2002, Ricky Williams led the league in rushing yards with 1,853 rushing yards. Jay Bowerson, you got the Ricky Williams and a chance at the Crystal Mahomes Speed Flex. Heck yeah, says Jay. My Mizzou man, Jay Bowerson, Ricky Williams. That's so. We have multiple inscriptions for him, and there's several that are my favorites. So my least favorite is actually Smoke Weed Every Day. I've seen it too many times. That one's good. It's my least favorite. There's 3 that stand out to me. It's hitting holes and smoking bowls. There's the split blunts, not carries. And then there's the college one, the Heisman, Highsman. So beautiful lid right there, Jay. You are the winner of the Ricky Williams. And then, Rob, we can add him to that league leader category.
Yes, we can.
It's going to be the same order, and then we'll put the yards total. That's the rushing yards category. Congratulations, Jay Bowerson. Actually, I believe that we have a winner out of that category. Blake Furman has 2,097 rush yards with Adrian Peterson, because we had 5 different winners in that category. So Blake Furman is the guy that wins the category. He's got a 1 in 5 chance at the Mahomes Speed Flex right now. Congrats to Blake. And that's the only category that's done, though, Rob. We still have the passing yards category up for grabs. We still have the receiving yards category, receiving touchdown category, and the sacks picks category. So, guys, this is what the non-headliners look like. You know, we're sitting here talking about 12 headliners and 15 boxes. Now, 12 and 14, Rob. This is an incredible helmet, an awesome inscription, and it's not even a headliner in the series. This League Leader series is nuts. Absolutely nuts.
Yeah, and something tells me that we are very far away from not having any of these boxes happen anytime soon, because we are getting pretty close. In the double box break for this series, we are still at 2, I believe. So
I'm seeing 4, but that'll change very quickly.
Yeah, we're at 4 right now.
We're at 4.
My apologies.
You're good.
So, I mean, who knows? Somebody can knock that down to 2 in just a moment. But, yeah, I mean, 12 and 14 chance. I mean, that's definitely going to end up being a headliner if we end up getting to that double box break. Chances are, very good chance, and both of them end up being photo headliners. But
yeah, there's 14 boxes left, Rob. The 12 headliners we're talking about, by the way, that includes the great receiver for the Lions, Calvin Johnson, on that Lion alternate speed flex. We got the Steve Smith Sr. with the Ice Up Sun on this beautiful lid. Triple Crown winner Steve Smith made Jake Delhomme look really good. Jake Delhomme was not good. Steve Smith made Jake Delhomme look good. That's how good this dude was. Chris Johnson, one of the fastest running backs ever. CJ 2K on that beautiful sort of Carolina, Argentina blue, as I call it. We still have the Patrick Mahomes white speed flex. The Chiefs Kingdom on the top. One of the best quarterbacks, if not the best quarterback I've ever seen. Then, you know, statistically, accolades-wise, the GOAT Tom Brady, the 7-time Super Bowl champion on that Buccaneers speed flex. Last Super Bowl ends up beating Breeze, Rodgers, and Mahomes head-to-head, back-to-back-to-back for the GOAT Tom Brady. Now, although Bill Belichick, maybe call him sour with that Brady relationship, but Bill Belichick was on record saying he coached one perfect player, and it was not Tom Brady. He said it was Lawrence Taylor, who is probably the best defensive player of all time. Talk about a private collection, a PC, guys. You get the 2 best quarterbacks ever in Mahomes and Brady. You get arguably the best receiver ever, Randy Moss, maybe the second best behind Rice. You get the best defensive player, Lawrence Taylor. Another all-time great receiver, Calvin Johnson. Now, we got that Mike Evans flex as well. Talk about a PC. The items in here you can get for your PC, the all-time greats. It's crazy. And 3 to go now in that double box.
Yep.
3 to go in that double box. $470 a spot. Most of these speed flexes worth over $1,000. You win a Brady flex worth about $3K. You pair that with the Mike Evans or the Steve Smith, which are in the ballpark of $1,500, give or take, Rip. Looking at about $4,500 in value for just $470 in that NFC South. Now, the less boxes that are left, with the amount of helmets left, the better the odds are at a double up, right? Because we have multiple spots with double ups right now. Randy Moss and Calvin Johnson pairing in the NFC North. We have the Patrick Mahomes and Terrell Davis pairing in the AFC West. Now we have the Brady Evans, the Smith Evans, the Evans Smith. A lot of options, guys, to win 2 helmets with just 1 spot. 2 to go now.
2 to go.
Who just got in?
Curtis
Gardner?
Curtis Gardner.
Oh, he's out here gardening on this break page. Out here taking names. Thank you, Curtis.
Curtis and Kenneth Stanton, guys, responsible for bringing it down to 2, and I'm excited.
Let's do it.
I mean, if we're gonna get a, what's that again about fighting through holes and smoking bowls?
The inscription, Rob, to be exact, is hitting holes and smoking bowls.
Hitting holes and smoke. So I mean, if that's the appetizer of this series, I'm ready for the main course in this double box.
That's a pretty darn good appetizer, right? Yeah. Pretty darn good appetizer,
I would say so.
For Ricky Williams. I say it's the best series in the room, and this is why. This is the best helmets, the best items, so much great stuff in this UA live break room. So that Speedflex double is coming up here shortly, guys. Imagine being on the sidelines, thinking about getting in and not getting in, and out comes Brady, out comes Mahomes, and you miss your chance at some of the best quarterbacks of all time. One to go in that double box. One to go. One spot to go. $470. 14 boxes left. 12 headliners left. Every box is a speed flex, and every box features a league leader, somebody who has led the league in either receiving yards, receiving touchdowns, passing yards, rushing yards, or sacks or interceptions in this series. So who's going to get that closer magic? If you don't believe closer magic is real, well, Jay Bowerson got the last spot last time, and he got the Ricky Williams speed flex for $225, Rob. That's pretty good. Or $235, I think. And he's at it again. Gerald Bowerson jumping in.
There we go.
Looking for a little bit of double closer magic in the double box break. That boy, Jay.
Love to see it. Trying to do his best Mariano Rivera impression here.
No kidding.
And in the I hate to say it's the subcategory or the subplot right now, but it's definitely one that's developing. We have the Birch family fighting over one another back in the jerseys again, which is cool to see. The Birch Bros.
Look, I always say this. Tell your family, tell your friends about the break room. It's one way to not overspend money, but still have fun. You tell all your friends about the break room. You all get in a break together, and everybody saves a little bit of money. Speedflex double, drop me 2 box numbers. Who's got them? Maybe Brady and Mahomes coming up. Maybe Megatron and Randy Moss coming up. There's so many all-time great players, the biggest names, the best series in the game. So why don't we do this, Rob? I will put this Ricky Williams up top. Okay. Let's put the Ray Lewis away. I'll show it off one more time before we do it because that was the earlier show today.
Yes, it was.
This is the best lid earlier today with that Baltimore skyline. And we're going to take this off the table, though, because it is not this show. So does not qualify for hit of this show.
I will.
So,
yeah, I'll put that one away for you.
thank you, brother. And we got 1 in 20 from Kenneth. 1 in 20, my man. Thank you, brother.
Gotcha. Names are in there for you.
Thank you, thank you. So the first box in the series and the 20th box in the series. Thank you, Kenneth. We're getting right to that chase territory, guys. The series winding down. Looking for Brady, looking for Mahomes. A lot to play for here in the UA Live break room. Tons to play for.
1 in 20, you said?
1 in 20. So Blake Furman, Christopher Leone, Sean Twingstrom, John Taukton, Kenneth Stanton, Curtis Gardner, Justin Kinslow, and Jay Bowerson. And then, did you mark the Ricky Williams in that category sheet? You have not done that yet. Can you mark that just so we have record of it?
Yeah.
So the order number, and I'll put the order number in for you, and then the amount of yards on to the left of the sheet. Thank you, my man. So congrats to Jay. You know, talk about Ricky Williams all you want. Everyone talks about the smoking weed and all that, but the dude was a great football player. Over 10,000 career rushing yards. 2002 led the league in rushing yards. Ricky Williams was a beast.
Yes, he was.
All right. And then I got to write up the Post-it note, too. I got excited. That's a cool lid. And what's so cool about it is it wasn't even a headliner, man. And that's wild.
Anytime you can get something with Dolphins colors, it's always going to be a good hit.
Uh-huh.
And in Ricky's case, he enjoyed taking many hits in his days. So,
Ooh.
yeah, now all over the helmet.
A certain kind of hits more than another kind of hit, Rob.
Yeah.
Did have a preference towards his hits.
You could.
Took a little bit of everything.
You could say that again.
All right. Good luck, guys, for the 6th Speed Flex double. Blake, Christopher, Sean, John, Kenneth, Curtis, Justin, and Jay. We'll get you guys randomized 7 times here as we're still looking for Mahomes, still looking for Brady, Randy Moss, Calvin Johnson. So many massive, massive names still out there in the Speed Flex series. So 7 times. Good luck. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. It's going to be Blake Furman up top. Blake has the NFC North. Right below is Jay Bowerson in that Brady Buck spot, Jay. Blake, by the way, Blake is looking for Megatron and Randy Moss.
Ooh.
Could get them both in this break with the NFC North. Jay looking for Tom Brady and Mike Evans, or Brady and Steve Smith, or Steve Smith and Mike Evans. 2 helmets with 1 spot is possible. John looking for the Lawrence Taylor and DeMarcus Ware in the NFC East. Justin hoping for a secondary headliner, Kurt Warner. Curtis hoping for a secondary headliner, Ed Reed. Sean's got the AFC South, that beautiful CJ2K custom speed flex. Kenneth in the AFC East, and the great Leon looking for maybe, just maybe, Patrick Mahomes. Come on, double, says Blake. Says, let's double up. Give me Moss and Megatron. That'd be quite the double box break, if you ask me. And that would be quite the double box break. You know me, Rob. I'm always talking about best case scenario. And I always tell the customers, put some good juju out there. Put the positive energy out there. And it'll be returned to you.
Oh?
Speaking of which, Winter Warrior Randy Moss Speed Flex. Blake asked for it, and by golly, he got it. You have been mossed, Blake Furman. Second most receiving touchdowns of all time. The most receiving touchdowns in a single season. This is the 2003 season, by the way, where it says Moss had 17 receiving touchdowns.
Woo.
Not the only year he led the league in touchdown catches, though. He had 23 that
07.
one iconic season for the Patriots. So we get the 17 here, Blake. He says, let's go. Let's go on the Randy Moss. Man, that is nice.
Yeah, so the receiving touchdowns, that means that he now has the lead in the receiving touchdowns category. So we had Blake Fairman had a Jerry Rice with 15. Blake Wilkins had Jordy Nelson with 14. So that now gives him the lead with 17.
Well, actually, Blake Furman, it's total added up. So he's got the 15 for Rice and the 17 for Randy Moss.
He's running away with it.
He's got 32 right now.
He's running away.
Nice, says Ashley. Skull, says Eric. Thanks, guys, says Blake. Hey, man, you can't win if you don't play. Great job on your Randy Moss Winter Warrior Speed Flex. Get this one written up. If we have room, can we put that Kurt Warner helmet in front of your computer? Do you have room there?
Yeah, definitely.
Perfect, my man. I'll put this Moss on here. The Chris Carter is definitely in trouble on this table. Might be booted here soon by his former teammate.
Well, as long as we keep Kurt close to me, it's where he belongs. Colin.
Just for you, bud. Just for you.
I got a nest made over here for him. So
perfect.
All right, let's see.
I mean, look, I don't know many Cardinal fans, so want to keep you happy. Nice job, Blake. A 1 down, 1 to go. Could Blake get the Megatron next, though? Right? He might not be done yet. Now there's a Calvin Johnson in here, which I'm guessing that comes with the receiving yard category, which is the most receiving yards he's ever had in NFL history, right? Over 1,900 in a season. So that a boy, Mr. Blake. Congratulations on Randy Moss. All right, Rob. I'll give you this paper just to keep, just in case.
Thank you, my man.
I'll put the Moss over here. And we got 1 more box. Congrats, Blake, from Craig. Thanks, Craig, says Blake. And big time, brother. Big time indeed. In the Speed Flex double. All right. What do we got coming up? Oh, my. Oh, my. Wow. Well. This is somehow not a headliner, Rob. We said a 12 and 14 chance at a headliner. It's about to be an 11 and 12 chance after this break.
Oh.
We'll boot one helmet off the table because it's the same helmet but better. We have another Minnesota Viking. All I do is catch TD's inscription. 4th all-time in receiving touchdowns.
Second time.
And also Chris Carter, 1997, led the league in receiving touchdowns with 13. Add on another one, Blake Furman.
Oh, my God.
You got the Chris Carter Minnesota Viking Speed Flex.
Wow.
There we go, Blake. My goodness.
Rich get richer.
I told you guys, double box breaks. 2 helmets, 1 spot, just like that. So we're at 13 league leader boxes left, I believe. We had, 15 entering the show. We've done a single and a double, 12 left. We have 11 headliners. We have an 11 and 12 chance at a headliner, Rob. 8 and 12 have photoed, 11 and 12 counting secondary. That's ridiculous.
Get yourselves back in there. It's the only way that you can make that happen. And yeah, like saying I've never been this lucky. Not too many people have ever been this lucky, Blake. So you know what you got to do?
Get back in.
Got to hop right back in.
I'll be honest though, Blake. I have seen this story so many times. The double box breaks. We have multiple helmets. It happens all the time, brother. So I've been talking about it all night. And case in point, guys, if you don't believe in doubles, this is your, proof is in the pudding, right? Congratulations to Mr. Blake. And if I'm Blake, I get it at least one more time, right? Because he just got himself 2 speed flexes for $470. Chris Carter and Randy Moss speed flex combined together, we're looking at north of $2,000 in value. The guy just profited about $1,500, if not more, on those 2 speed flexes. So he buys one more double spot. He's still one for the night no matter what. So
what did you say he had? Chris Carter, was that also 17?
That was, I think it was 13.
13?
I'll give you the paper. 13 for 97.
Sweet.
So jump back in, Blake. You're playing with what we call here in the break room house money. House money. You don't leave when you're hot. Now, he gets back in and he loses. He can call it quits and say, I still finished up on the day. But while he's winning, you don't stop while you're winning, right? You never leave while you're winning, right? I mean, you can leave once you've lost once, but you can't stop the winning streak, right? For Blake, he's out here dominating, Rob.
It's
out here dominating.
Yeah, it's the old blackjack table theory or craps roulette, whatever tickles your fancy at your local casino. Once you're hot, don't listen to the support system around you unless they are supporting you to stay on the table. You gotta
leave the table.
Don't leave the table.
Don't leave the table.
Yeah, play until you can't play anymore, and that should be Blake's motto right now. Heck, maybe if Blake is even feeling generous, start your recruitment process, because I see Heels was like, yeah, I'm not getting back in there with Blake. But you know what? Blake should be like, hey, anybody want to challenge me to try to see if they can best my luck? Let's see if we can run this
to be
boy back.
Honest with you, though, there's so many double ups that are even better.
Yeah.
Because that was a Winter Warrior and a standard flex. We have custom speed flex double ups and speed flex double ups involving the GOAT Tom Brady. So right now, guys, we have only 12 boxes left. We have 11 headliners, and 8 of them are photoed headliners. We have a 2 in 3 chance, and we have about a 90% chance at a headliner total in here. That includes the Calvin Johnson, that alternate Lion speed flex, the single season receiving yard record holder. We have this beautiful Steve Smith Sr. with the Ice Up Sun inscription. This is an awesome, awesome lid, a Triple Crown winner, the best Panther receiver of all time. The guy was, one of the fastest players ever, Steve Smith. Also one of the fastest players ever, CJ2K, Chris Johnson. In the history of football for the regular season, nobody has had more rushing yards and receiving yards combined in the same season than Chris Johnson. That's a very, very impressive stat for not one of the biggest guys in football history, but man, was he fast. Such a custom helmet one I've never seen. Very, very nice on the CJ2K. Still got Patrick Mahomes. What have you done by 30 with your life? Mahomes has 3 Super Bowl MVPs, 2 league MVPs, the most accomplished career after 30 in football history. He's either first or second in pass yards, passing touchdowns, all the record books. He has shattered by the age of 30. Patrick Mahomes, the best in the game, one of the most expensive autographs on that Chiefs Kingdom Speed Flex. The one guy Mahomes is chasing, though, the greatest quarterback of all time, Tom Brady. And we got a Buccaneers Speed Flex, 7-time Super Bowl champion, arguably the most important one with the Bucs. The post-Brady, the post-Belichick, the post-Patriots era. Tom Brady goes to the Bucs in his 40s and wins a Super Bowl pretty much right off the bat. We do have the guy he was throwing the ball to, Mike Evans, still available as well. Here's the Lawrence Taylor Giants 2-tone flex. And here's the Mike Evans, the 3-tone, the black, the red, the orange. One of the most consistent receivers ever, the one and only Mike Evans. So keep those orders rolling, guys. We will gladly keep the night going here in the UA Live Break Room. Definitely not done with the Speed Flex series. I would get those spots while you still can, guys. Reminder, every single box in the series is a Speed Flex. Every single box in the series features a player that's led the league in either passing yards, rushing yards, receiving touchdowns, or sacks and interceptions. So, I mean, all due respect to Chris Carter, Randy Moss, the customs are still out there. Steve Smith, Chris Johnson customs. Patrick Mahomes custom. Lawrence Taylor chrome. Mike Evans chrome. The greatest quarterback of all time, Tom Brady, with only 11 boxes left. That alone should be reason to get in. Let's attack that league leader Speed Flex break. And this one right now, guys, I'll be honest with you. It's 8 to go in the single, and it's 8 to go in the double. As soon as one person makes that first move, puts it at 5 or 6 spots to go, everybody else will follow. Just need one of you guys to make the first move. After that, it is super duper easy in the Speed Flex break. We get it down to 6 to go. This will go very quickly. Other breaks that are coming up, I would say the jersey break. And we're 2 spots to go in that jersey break. That's definitely coming up. And don't sleep on the minis either. We have in the mini helmets, looking at 12 boxes left. And we got 5 headliners left. That includes, 4 Hall of Famers. Warren Moon, John Elway, Troy Aikman, Curtis Martin, and a secondary headliner, Ricky Williams. Speaking of headliners, don't sleep on that John Elway Chrome. $103, the Ghost Chrome, still out there in the diamonds with that orange visor, orange face mask, John Elway. We have in the Game Day series, the NFL's leading rusher right now, Jonathan Taylor, not to mention Terry McLaurin, TJ Watt, Nico Collins, and JSN. This Jonathan Taylor black Speed Flex with that golden coat, that is very nice as well. So a lot of good options, guys. The practice squad got a lot of good names left. Hall of Fame quarterbacks in the AFC East double up. Jim Kelly, Dan Marino with 1 spot in that double. We got the Eddie George Retro Oilers Speed Flex. Myles Garrett, salute the service, Browns authentic. Zay Flowers Speed Flex. Terrific young receiver. You can double up with Zay Flowers and Myles Garrett or the Triple Crown winner, Jamar Chase. So tons of good options on that break page, guys. Keep those orders going. We'll keep the party going here in the UA break room. You're good to put that Chris Carter away, Rob.
Okay.
That one. I'll keep this one because it's the Speed Flex.
Sounds good.
It's the Speed Viking Authentic. And I do have some boxes for you here as well.
Even better. And we are down to 1 spot to go in the jerseys.
And here's the Ricky Williams write-up as well.
Awesome. Thank you.
And then we got the assembly line. Good old Henry Ford here. So, got 25 of you guys watching, guys. Who's going to make those moves? Who wants to run back that Speed Flex break? I don't want to be done flexing tonight, Rob. I want to flex some more. I want more flexes tonight. I want more.
Oh, we're going to get it going for sure.
So I'll put this one in the spot. Yeah. It's the same player. One for another here in the Speed Flex break. This, by the way, an example of what some of the and more hits are in the series. Ricky Williams, not even a headliner. Here we go. Adam Hoffman. Shout out to Adam. Adam got in, making the first move. Thank you, brother. Putting us at 6 to go in that speed flex. So the single. I told these guys, Rob, one person makes the first move. Everybody else is going to follow here in that break.
Love it.
So shout out to Adam. Great job, brother. Longtime customer, Mr. Adam Hoffman. So
Yeah, I mean,
he's not. I know he's using a different email, but he's not a new guy. We know
Okay.
him.
I was gonna
so don't
say.
count him as a new guy. But
I gotcha.
thank you, Adam. Appreciate you, brother, for jumping in. Appreciate you for making moves on that break page.
Yeah, of course.
So 6 to go. I'll drop that link in the chat. I don't have to drop the jersey link in because it's 1 to go, and that should take care of its own self. But here's the Speed Flex single. It's one of those things. It's a break that I get it's a little bit pricier. But there's 28 folks watching out there, and I know that there's at least 7 or 8 of them trying to get in that break, and they're kind of waiting for the guy to make the first move. Well, he made the first move.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ronnie, we're close on the league leader single right now. The All Speed Flex series. We're looking at 6 spots to go. We just got the first 2 spots taken here. This gets down to 4 to go. It's going quickly. 6 spots to go in the Speed Flex break. 12 boxes left, 11 headliners left. That includes Calvin Johnson, Steve Smith Sr., Chris Johnson, Tom Brady, Mike Evans, Lawrence Taylor, DeMarcus Ware, Patrick Mahomes. Then we have 3 secondary headliners, Kurt Warner, Terrell Davis, and also Ed Reed. So those are rolling. And we know, Rob, the magic number is 3. Once the break is at 3 or less to go, what happens? We knock out 3 more spots here. Now that Speed Flex single will happen. And Ronnie, just for you, anybody else out there watching, Rob, I'm going to offer a limited time offer right now. It is $8.29 for the next 6 minutes. 6 minutes, Rob. If you buy in that Speed Flex single in the next 6 minutes, and that break does not happen tonight, we'll give you guys a refund. Because I know for a fact we move a couple spots in that break, it's going to happen. So if you don't got the funds for it, I can respect it. But if you're not getting in because you're not sure it's going to fill, now you have no excuse. Automatic refund if you jump in that Speed Flex single by 8:35 Central Time. If it does not fill by 9:30 tonight or during tonight's show at some point, Rob, we will give you guys a refund. I say 9:30 because 9:30 is what I call the earliest we would sign off. That's only if we're not busy. If we're busy breaking boxes, could be 10 o'clock, could be 11, could be midnight, depending on how much you guys want to order. We do have a jersey break coming up, though.
We do. Yeah, Ashley Roberson deciding to be the closer for that one. So, Ashley, shout out to you.
Shout out to Ash.
Shout out to your Clemson Tigers as well. I do not mean any ill will by that. I know it's been a very tough start to your Clemson season. But, hopefully the jerseys end up being much more kinder to you than Dabo Sweeney's football team.
There we go. Jersey single, go ahead and drop me a box number. I'm a winning Tiger, a Mizzou Tiger, an undefeated Tiger, Rob, personally. That's me. What's up, Justin Anderson? Justin Anderson never seems to lose in the break room. Here's what's up, Justin. The Speed Flex series, brother. 12 boxes left, 11 headliners left. That includes Megatron, Steve Smith, Chris Johnson, Tom Brady, Mike Evans, Lawrence Taylor, DeMarcus Ware, and Patrick Mahomes. Not to mention 3 secondary headliners in here. Terrell Davis, Ed Reed, and Kurt Warner. That's what's up, Justin. So, jersey break is coming up. Jersey break. Let's see here. Jersey single. You got that in there, Rob?
Yeah. Yes, I do. Just got to. Is the color change? That's
there
why
we go.
It's hiding on you.
Halftime jersey number 4. Justin Birch, Hunter Birch, brothers. Jason Smorosky, Gabriel Vera, Eric Linnell, Kenneth Stanton, and Ashley Robertson. So do need a box number. First come, first serve. Drop me a box number here. Who's got a box number? Otherwise, we'll go to the wheel. Once we pull up the wheel, then all box numbers are closed.
We've had some great jerseys so far.
Yeah, we have.
For those just tuning in, I know, Kamen, you said not too long ago we had 25 eyeballs on the screen. Hopefully we're fairly close to that right now. But if you
28.
28.
They like us more than they hate us, Rob.
I was going to say, yeah. I was going to say even better.
Right?
Yeah, we're all about ratios. I definitely like that positive ratio. We had a Tyreek Hill, won by Eric Linnell earlier, and then the Hall of Famer, Dan Hampton, a part of those coveted, historic, once-in-a-lifetime defenses with the 1985 Chicago Bears. That went to Hunter Birch.
Not bad.
So 2 great jerseys so far. Let's keep this going.
Let's keep more. 13. Cap calling 13. Looking for lucky number 13, my man. We do have a Dan Marino in that practice squad, by the way. Dan the Man Marino. We'll go 7 times for our spots.
Okay, 13, and then Kamen whenever you get the chance. And I just have the Chris Carter box, the first one that you have.
Yes. This is the second one, I think, just to double check. It's one of these up here, Rob, probably.
Okay. There you go. I'll check.
It's the bottom one.
The bottom one?
Yeah, it's the bottom one.
There you go.
Yeah, make sure we put the right Chris Carter, the right Chris Carter.
I will make
There's 2 Carters tonight. We'll go 7 times for our spots, guys. 5, 6, and 7. We got Eric Linnell up top in the NFC North. Right below is Gabriel Vera in the NFC South. Jason Smorosky, NFC East. Justin Birch in the NFC West. Ashley Robertson, AFC North. Eric's got the AFC South. Kenneth in the AFC East. And Hunter, you've got the AFC West. Oh, man. We keep on pulling heat in this break room. We got ourselves the primetime show tonight at 6 p.m., and we got primetime himself, Deion Sanders, on the Dallas Cowboys jersey right here. Part of the 50-plus interception club. Some say the best corner of all time. Former Defensive Player of the Year, an All-Pro, a great returner as well. Hall of Famer, Deion Sanders. One of the most well-known players in football history. Jason Smorosky, congrats on your primetime jersey.
Very cool, very cool. So I mean, now the numbers continue to stay high, but they're starting to dwindle a little bit. So that's only 10 photoed headliners now in the jersey. So,
dude, if there's something you like in the break room, you never ever wait, you never hesitate.
Yeah,
because any moment the biggest name could come out just like that. I could argue, personal preference. To me, this is probably the biggest name in the jersey series, Deion Sanders. So any moment the big name could come out, guys. And that's why you don't hesitate, right? The Brady and the Speed Flex series, the Mahomes, they could be in the very next box. Nice hit, Jason, on the beautiful Deion Sanders jersey. One of the best athletes ever. A guy whose popularity, maybe not always popular for being liked, but in terms of just general knowledge of who he is in the social media world, with every single day he gets more famous.
Yeah, I mean, his most recent headline just coming the other day before Cleveland had arguably the greatest upset of the weekend, if not the season so far in the NFL, upsetting the Green Bay Packers. Something that me and Dom Pellegrini talked about quite a lot in our 3 p.m. show.
What now, Mr. Pellegrini?
So the reason why I'm bringing that up is because before the game, Kamen, he actually said that he expects his son, Shador, to actually start for Cleveland at some point this season.
Well, that didn't help his case. They didn't win because of Joe Flacco, though. They won because of Myles Garrett in that defense. Myles Garrett transition, practice squad
right
authentic.
To the practice squad, yeah.
Very, very nice. Very nice indeed. So, Jason, congrats on your prime time. You win a headliner with one spot like Jason, no matter what it is, no matter what series it is, you can't lose if you get a headliner with one spot. That is sort of the beauty of the break room, the single spot snipe, as we call it here at UA. By the way, guys, it is 8:36. The league leaders is the Chase wheel spin. We'll do that wheel spin at 9 o'clock unless the break is sold out. Now, unfortunately, that sort of refund I offered, Rob, It'll not be active because I made it till 8:35 and nobody got in. So there'll be no refunds for that series tonight. But we can still see Brady. We can still see Mahomes, guys. We can still make it happen in the UA live break room.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah.
That's a shame, but we still have more than enough time to
Well-
get these rooms refilled back up.
Well, there's 29 folks watching. So we have enough people to knock out this break. We're 6 to go in that single. I definitely think we can knock out another Speed Flex break tonight. No doubt about that. We're going to get a second to the next jerseys.
Yep.
That's probably the one we'll do for sure. The jerseys are the hottest right now for sure. So Speed Flex series. Let's actually rank these, Rob. I'll ask the customers too. I'm going to keep it to the photoed headliners because we see them. I know we have basically 12 boxes left, 11 headliners left, counting Terrell Davis, Ed Reed, Kurt Warner. But we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold on. What are we? Oh, you didn't get the Moss off there. That's why.
Correct.
So Calvin Johnson, Steve Smith, Chris Johnson, Tom Brady, Mike Evans, Lawrence Taylor, DeMarcus Ware, Patrick Mahomes. So this is not counting the Crystal Mahomes flex. Give me, guys, and this will be for you as well, Rob. Let's play a game. So let me write these out so I don't get confused. So Calvin Johnson, we got Steve Smith, Chris Johnson, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, DeMarcus Ware, and Mike Evans. So let's do a fantasy draft here, Rob.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to do this fantasy draft different because I'm not doing this draft like where once you take a guy, I can take the guy. Okay. We both have our own draft. We're going to rank these helmets. We're going to do this Letterman style, as Rip says. Pausing for effect. Let's go 8 to 1.
Okay.
So in terms of the helmet we least want versus the helmet we most want. So all these are terrific. But actually, hold on. Yeah, Lawrence Taylor. That's the one I didn't write down. So I'm going to go number 8, Rob, in our backwards draft. One of the best pass rushers ever. One of the most rare autographs in the break room. I'm going DeMarcus Ware as my number 8 helmet. That's left. That's pretty good for number 8.
That's probably
pretty good.
Probably the best number 8 you could possibly get for a last place finish to Marcus Ware. Okay, so just going back and forth then for this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Your 8, then we'll do my 7, so on and so forth.
So for my number 8. Yeah, it's definitely going to take some pause here.
It's tough.
It is really, really
These
tough.
are some really good names in here.
So only photoed headliners, I'm assuming.
Only
man.
photo headliners.
You
You
know
can't
what,
talk
I'm gonna-
about Kurt Warner. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna have to
guy.
piggyback you on this a little bit here, man. Not to say that I don't have my own thought or creativity, but I'm gonna have to go with DeMarcus Ware as
the
well
right
at 8.
answer.
It is
It's
the right
answer.
It is the right answer.
It's not because DeMarcus Ware is not great. We just have so much great stuff in here. Number 7. This is really tough. This is because what I call, in my opinion, Rob, is I call these tier 1 headliners, right? I think the rest of the 7 helmets are tier 1 headliners. Mahomes and Brady speak for themselves, right? Those are obvious. You look at the Chris Johnson helmet, aesthetically, obvious why it's a tier 1 headliner. One of 9 2,000-yard rushers. Patrick Mahomes, obvious why he's a tier 1 headliner. This beautiful 3-tone Mike Evans, one of the best receivers ever, obvious why he's a tier 1 headliner. Lawrence Taylor, the red and blue Speed Flex. And that's Steve Smith Sr. with the Ice Up Sun inscription. So you and I might do this a little bit differently here because you've been here for not as long, which is a different look at it. Because for me personally, like, I've never seen the Steve Smith helmet ever, that one in my life. I've never seen the Chris Johnson ever. So automatically, I can't put those guys this low. Brady and Mahomes are disqualified because it's Brady and Mahomes. So that leaves me 3 choices for my number 7. And they're almost impossible. We have the 3-tone Mike Evans. And this feels weird to even think about, Rob, because I love chromes.
Yeah.
I love chrome helmets. That one is special. The Lawrence Taylor is special. This is going to be a shocker.
Some big
But
choices to make.
I'm going to go, and just to clarify, personally, 7-1, all these are about even. I might surprise you. I'm going to put Calvin Johnson at number 7. I love Megatron, but it's the only, other than Brady, the only non-custom photoed headliner. So it's just a little bit less fancy. Putting this single season receiving yard record holder as the 7th best helmet left. I'm going Megatron number 7.
Yeah, so look, I'm in lockstep with you just because of the fact that I'm not going by like name flash. I'm going for more aesthetically pleasing looks.
Sure.
And look, like you said, 1 through 7, you know, heck, I would argue 1 through 8 because DeMarcus Ware is right there too. Because I mean, you have America's team, you have the design there with the star on the side of it. That holds a lot of weight and value within itself. And obviously Calvin Johnson's name carries so much weight, especially in the era that you and I were watching football in. For me,
it's
at
Megatron.
least, yeah, it's Megatron. I mean, he's one of one, but for myself, I would put Calvin at 7 as well, just because I think that aesthetically, just looking at the helmet alone, I think that there are 6 better helmets available in terms of things that I could put on my shelf. I would walk by and my head would turn around every time I would walk out of the room. That's what these top 6 do it for me.
It's tough.
Yeah, and of course, I'm not going by saying that these players at their peaks or whatever were necessarily better. I'm just focusing on strictly the talent of the design of the helmet itself.
Yeah, so Calvin Johnson is a better player than Steve Smith and Chris Johnson.
Correct.
And Mike Evans. He's a better player than all 3 of those guys. But those helmets are extra special. Chris Leone, what's up, great Leone? You did not win with that order number, unfortunately, Chris. That was the Speedflex double box, and Blake Furman won Randy Moss and Chris Carter both with 1 spot. So that leaves the 6th best helmet left. And again, I'm basing this not only on how good they look, I'm basing it on how often I've seen them or not seen them. So this is really, really tough because there's 2 chromes that to me are dead even. But I'm going to put the Mike Evans at number 6.
Okay.
The terrific Bucks receiver, the triple, 3-tone speed flex. The only reason why I'm putting this one at number 6 behind Lawrence Taylor, I just love the color blue and red so much. So this one aesthetically for me is marginally better. The best defensive player ever, Lawrence Taylor. So I'm going Mike Evans is my 6th best speed flex left. Mike Evans, my number 6, Rob.
Not a bad choice at all. I mean, I've sung the Bucks' praises quite a bit here in the break room in my short time here, and deservingly so, Mr. 1,000-yard man himself. But
every year he's played.
I mean, that helmet is about as fire as the flames that are put on the bottom of it. So at least that's what it looks like. You have that creamsicle, in fuego type of look to it. I love red visors. Red visors are definitely becoming my forte for sure.
And it's funny because you say that because I went with the blue visor, which I love the red visor.
Yeah.
The blue visor, this is red visor too, actually. So
for me, I would have to, oh my goodness.
This is tough.
This is really tough. I'm going to have to go into the individual videos here myself just to kind of go over, because I'm stuck between 2. It's either between Evans or, shockingly enough, because this is the Evans right here. I'm looking for the Brady. This is the Lawrence Taylor.
So the Brady doesn't have a video. It's a standard buck.
Just a standard buck.
So it's worth around $3,000. Other than the Mahomes Crystal, it's probably worth the most money. It is the most basic helmet. So I would not judge you if you're truly going aesthetics, you would put the Brady 6. But I combine aesthetics with autograph value and player name. But if you want to go Brady, you can. It's your list, Rob.
I'm going to put Brady 6.
Wow.
It's going to be the only.
Sure.
I was going to say, says it's my list and then goes, wow, when I put him at 6. Yeah. No, man. It's just, I'm not trying to throw any dirt on Tom Brady. I think Brady, that's the lowest spot you could ever put Brady on a list for anything is number 6.
Well, you listed you're going aesthetics, though. You already gave criteria for what you want to see.
For sure. And that's the only reason why for me. I mean, I think that, look, if it was any other Buccaneer that was on there, I'd probably have that 8 out of 8 just by the style of the helmet, but because it's Tom, I'd put it at 6. I just think that the Evans design for his Buccaneers helmet specifically is just that much more aesthetically pleasing. But yeah, I mean, either way, it's, we're kind of picking hairs at this point.
It's good to disagree. I'm going number 5, Lawrence Taylor. This is a
okay.
two-tone chrome flex, the greatest defensive player of all time. Love the blue, love the red visor, one of 2 defensive MVPs ever in the history of football. And that is my number 5 speed flex that is left in this series. That's my number 5. What's your 5?
I'm going to go Evans at 5.
Mike Evans is your 5?
Yeah, one of my favorite guys to watch play over the last decade. You were, seriously / sarcastically mentioning how many quarterbacks he has played with earlier, just to ask him if you could sit down and have a beer with him and talk about each and one of all of his experiences with all of his quarterbacks. It just shows how much more impressive Mike Evans is as a football player, but I don't think even his talents as a football player could rival how impressive that helmet is for that design.
Well, he did make Jameis Winston into a guy that threw 5,000 yards. I will say that. I know Jameis chucks the ball around, but only one team he threw 5,000 with, and that was Mike Evans in the Bucs.
You can chuck it around all you want, but you got to have guys that can come down with it. And
he caught it.
And he caught a lot of them.
He caught them.
If not almost all of them.
Mike Evans. So that's your number 5. My 5 was Lawrence Taylor. 4. This is where it gets really interesting. So we have we have a couple of different names. So Lawrence Taylor still in play for you. Now I got the Bucs Brady Speed Flex, and I got the Patrick Mahomes Custom Chief Speed Flex still out there. And then we still have the Chris Johnson Speed Flex. I've never seen that, sort of Carolina blue. Then we have the Ice Up Sun Steve Smith Sr. So again, autograph value, Brady and Mahomes are 1 and 2. Aesthetically, there's no doubt the Steve Smith and the Chris Johnson are better aesthetically. But this is where it gets interesting for me. This is tough. I mean, it's like all 4 are even to me. This is really tough. I'm going to put the Chris Johnson as my number 4.
Wow.
I love this helmet. Again, aesthetically.
Wow.
Probably the second best behind the Steve Smith, if not equally good. I just have memories of Steve Smith winning me fantasy, so I got to put Steve Smith ahead of it. I respect Mahomes and Brady a lot. CJ 2K is my number 4. Is this your number 1? I hope it's your number 1 because that's what makes it even better.
Oh, man.
It's so subjective.
Oh,
we'll
man.
go with your 4 for now.
Okay, no, I was going to say, so just to make sure, so as of right now, I have DeMarcus Ware at 8. I have Calvin Johnson at 7.
7, yeah.
I have Brady at 6. Evans at 5.
So you got CJ 2K, Lawrence Taylor, Steve Smith, and Patrick Mahomes as options left.
Ooh,
Pretty good list.
Just because if I'm gonna stay consistent, you know what they call me around here, Kamen. Well, you don't, but you're gonna find out right now.
Uh-oh.
They call me Mr. Consistency.
Okay, so you're
So
Mike Evans.
if I'm gonna stand on business that I've already created, I'm gonna have to go by my aesthetics ranking, and aesthetically looking, out of the ones that are left, I'm gonna have to put Patrick Mahomes 4th.
Okay,
Respect. And I love the color scheme of the black and white. Anything negative, I pounce on in terms of my own wardrobe selection. But in terms of the helmets that we have here, I love the overall looks of, like you said, the CJ2K, the Steve Smith. I love murals that are on the side of custom speed flexes. That just makes it that much more aesthetically pleasing. So, I think it's, I like my ranking so far. I'm not too upset about it.
So I'm going number 3. I'm going to go Brady number 3, which again, aesthetically it's 7 or 8.
Yeah.
But it's the greatest quarterback of all time. It's worth $3,000 easy. On the resale market, outside of the Crystal Mahomes, you will get more money for Brady than anything. I got a wedding coming up. I would love to pay for it. A Tom Brady Speed Flex. No shame in putting the GOAT at number 3. Brady is my number 3.
Okay, so
you got a 3.
Yeah,
So you have Lawrence Taylor, I think, Steve Smith, and Chris Johnson, right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, I already know what my top 2 are. So that's gonna be the toughest one. But for me, I'm gonna go greatest defensive player of all time at number 3.
Number 3.
I'll go with LT at 3.
Okay.
LT 3. But I mean, that's in terms of the 2-tone chrome that you get with this Lawrence Taylor here. I mean, I don't think that there's a better 2-tone color scheme that I've seen, and we got some great ones.
Blue. No, you can't beat it.
I mean, I think it's the best overall. I mean, and we got some good ones like the TJ Watt in the Game Day series as the Speed Flex, the Jonathan Taylor. But that's not a 2-tone, but the TJ Watt, I should say, is right there with it.
Yeah, the black and gold.
The black and gold, yeah. So I mean, this one's beautiful, and he's got a great signature right on the sweet spot of the other Speed Flex as well.
Yeah, he does. And again, this is actually, so I've never seen the Chris Johnson and Steve Smith, I've never seen that design ever on a helmet. I've actually seen this one, not often, but a few times. So I've been working here for 4 years. So, Rob, I would probably put it higher up if I'd never seen it before. I have seen it before. For as a new observer, I can respect the number 3 for the greatest defensive player ever, Lawrence Taylor. So that leaves 2 and 1. I'm going to go number 2. Again, so I'm going to put this at 2 because the number 1 helmet in the break room is the bonus prize, Mahomes. And I don't want to go 2 homer and put Mahomes 1 times 2. So I'm going Mahomes number 2, the white speed flex, which is pretty rare in the break room, the Chiefs Kingdom inscription, worth about $3,000, the best quarterback in the game today. That's my number 2 lid left. And my number 1 helmet left, because I've never seen this before. I think the Chris Johnson overall looks cooler, but this one, what wins the Steve Smith as my number 1 is the Ice Up Son, the famous saying he had after a football game, talking smack to the opponent. Ice Up Son with that clean Steve Smith. That is my number 1 helmet left, Steve Smith Sr.
That is pretty great. A very compelling case for a top 2 spot on the list. You and I obviously were in agreement here at Steve Smith entering our top 2. Now, if we were talking about the Swarovski Crystal Patrick Mahomes that you have in front of you,
no contest.
That's in a whole that's a whole different tier of their own. We'd have to start a different list starting off with that Patrick Mahomes. So that's obviously not included, but I have CJ2K and then this Steve Smith is my last 2. I'm going to put the Iced Up Son Steve Smith as at my number 2 only because.
Okay, respect.
Only if you had the Carolina Panther blue as like the main base of color for the helmet.
So you like this Carolina and Tennessee blue?
Yeah, and you know, with the Chris Johnson CJ2K, you'd have way more of the Tennessee Titan blue than you have the exactly. So I just like the color scheme of that one just a tick better, but I do love the Iced Up Sun on the side of it's 1A 1B. It's like asking like someone to choose who their favorite kids are. If you had 2 kids, you know, which one is your favorite? Rank them. So it's very.
Sorry, Henry. Messi's number 1.
My
fiance didn't hear that. Those are my dog kids I'm talking about. But yes, I got you. It's very, very hard. What do you guys think the customers, guys? What would you most want to win? And that didn't even count the secondary headliners. You know, Ed Reed, Kurt Warner, Terrell Davis. What do you guys, the customers, want to win? Obviously, who are the guys in that break right now? I think we have Adam Hoffman and someone else got in the single, I believe, Rob, right?
Yeah, Richard Haycock a few moments ago got into the single.
Richard jumping in as well. That single is 5 spots to go. We knock out 1 more spot in here, get it down to 4 to go. We are as good as done in that break, right? If it's halfway there, folks start to believe, and the break happens. And we got 21 of you guys watching right now. You know, it's not high school, Rob. I don't bite, you don't bite. There's no cooties here. You know, you do got to pay $2.35 to enter, but it is free to comment. So it is free to comment. What helmet do you guys like the most in this series? Favorite 2 or 3 lids? Do you guys like the Mahomes? Do you like the Brady, the Mike Evans, the Calvin Johnson, the Steve Smith? Maybe you like the DeMarcus Ware, Lawrence Taylor, Mike Evans. What are your favorite helmets in this series? The best overall helmet, though, and this is one that I would say, I've been here over 4 years, Rob. This is a top 5 helmet ever in Break Room. The Crystal, Swarovski Mahomes. I mean, this is probably the second best Crystal helmet I've seen. I like the Brady one maybe last week slightly better because it was silver, but I'm a Mahomes guy. As good as it gets on this red Swarovski Crystal. That is the bonus prize at the end of the series. Every single person that wins in here technically would have a chance to win it if they win the stack category, Rob. So this is still available, guys. A bonus prize at the end of the series. What's up, Sean Harrow? What's going on, brother? Sean in the chat. How you doing, my man, Sean Harrow?
What's going on, Sean? And so I mean, just some of the league leaders that we got so far, we have a lot of familiar faces that have qualified for the Patrick Mahomes Swarovski helmet giveaway that will come at the end of this league leader series. for you guys to know. So we are down to 12 boxes, 11 of them being headliners. So you have an 11 to 12 chance of landing yourself a photoed headliner. It's not even including secondary or possibly and mores, which we've already pulled already, Kamen, and they are certainly sweet to look at, to say the least. But if you want to have an opportunity to get yourself in that Patrick Mahomes, like Cody Myers, Gabe Flores, or Blake Wilkins, just to name some of these guys, they're a part of the passing yards entry for the league leader entries. It looks like in totality right now for the entries that I see, it looks
Cody's
like
leading.
Cody's leading. He's got that Warren Moon single season where he threw for nearly 4,700 yards. Now, keep in mind if you have, this is in totality. So if you have two guys that are in the same entry, let's say for the rushing yards, if you end up being Blake, for example, who landed Adrian Peterson, and let's say that Blake ends up buying back in and he ends up landing the Chris Johnson, then you would end up combining Chris Johnson and Adrian Peterson's total yards, and that would be his final total. But if you just have one entry, you obviously end up getting the rushing yards, for example, for whoever it is that you pull. But the cool thing is, Kamen, is that a guy like Jason Harmeling in the receiving yards, he's a double dipper, man. He's got the Justin Jefferson and the Tyreek Hill for their single season yards. So he's looking good on that.
Yeah, sorry to cut you off.
No, it's okay.
I was going to say, so the receiving yards category is down to two guys. Jason and Curtis each have 2 wins. So if Jason and Curtis win again, they guarantee that category. Otherwise, right now, I think Curtis would win because he got more total yards. 1809 plus 1799, 1870. Actually, no, I think it's Jason that's the winner. The 2 categories really up for grabs right now, the passing yards, right?
Yeah.
So that could be Mahomes and what's the other quarterback? Brady on the Bucks, or whatever passing yards he had that season. So Cody's got 4,690. Gabriel's got 455. Blake has 457. So whoever wins the passing yard category, that is still up for grabs. Basically, if Blake or Cody or Gabriel win again, they're almost guaranteed to win that category. That category is still up for grabs. We have the sacks and interceptions category. This is still up for grabs. Timothy Harmeling has Rod Woodson with 7 picks. Gabriel Flores has TJ Watt with 22.5 sacks. It does pay to get the sack guys, for example, because usually the league leader in sacks has more than the league leader in picks, right?
Yeah.
So you want to get like Lawrence Taylor, for example, in this league leader flex. 1 in 5 chance to win the Mahomes Crystal Speed Flex if you win the category. I think right now we've only clinched 1 category so far. That would be the receiving touchdowns. Blake Furman does have a category clinched already. Because he's got Chris Carter with 13, Randy Moss with 17, and Jerry Rice with 15. So we can actually already mark Blake as the receiving touchdown winner.
Way to go, Blake.
And Blake has a 1 in 5 chance at the worst at landing the Mahomes Crystal Speed Flex. If Blake were to win a second category, though, he would go up to a 40% chance. For example, Blake, you are in the rushing yards category. So, if, for example, if Blake wins the Chris Johnson, then he would also get a second category, and he would have a 40% chance at the Mahomes at worst. So, that's the only category clinched right now. The receiving yards category, though, will be either Curtis or Jason. So if someone else wins the category, then Jason would win that one. So still, you're not capped at winning 1 category, by the way.
Yeah.
So Blake, if you win the rushing yards category, my man, you will get yourself that 2 in 5 chance. And Blake's hot right now. Maybe get that CJ2K, right? That'd be very, very sick. So, guys, it is 9:01. We'll knock out the chase wheel spin. Actually, I don't think you have that one ready, Rob. So, folks in the double get their name in ×2 for the league leader and the single ×1. So, I believe we have done 1 double and 1 single. So, it should be 24 names in the chase wheel spin list and that league leader. 5 to go in that single, guys. 5 to go in that single. We get that done tonight. We will be more than happy to do so. Green Bay Packers lost their last game. That's right, Sean. Boy, that was They blew that one, let's be honest. Up 10-0 on the Browns. But that is why you put a team away. We saw the Ravens didn't put the Bills away. The Packers didn't put the Browns away. Speaking of putting guys away, one of the guys you most have to put away is Patrick Mahomes, because this guy is the king of the fourth quarter. The Niners lived it a couple years ago, right? Like, they played really good. They were winning, but they didn't put the Chiefs away. Mahomes got a chance in overtime, and it was game over. Vault headliners, Jay. We have only, I think it's 5 vault boxes left. We have 1 secondary headliner, Eddie George, and we have 3 vault keys with bonus gift cards, a 300, a 100, and a 50. If you want headliners, Jay, by far the best place right now is the Speed Flex series. We have 12 boxes left, 11 headliners left. That's Calvin Johnson, Steve Smith, Chris Johnson, Tom Brady, Mike Evans, DeMarcus Ware, Patrick Mahomes, and then 3 secondary, Terrell Davis, Ed Reed, and Kurt Warner. The double practice squad mixer, we did do a double earlier tonight. And let's see, who won the practice squad double? That would be Alfredo, you won. You won a Brandon Graham mini, Alfredo, the Super Bowl champion mini for the Eagles. You won earlier tonight in that practice squad. So Chase Wheelspin coming up, Rob. Let's see who's taking home some bonus moolah here in the break room. Maybe get some chance to get some more gift cards or UA credit. And actually, for this one, a good learning point. Mm-hmm. If they buy in the double box break, they get their name in times 2 for the wheel spin. Okay. So we can copy and paste that double list a second time. Yeah. You guys will get those extra shots. I'm heading out, guys. If someone does pull the Megatron and want to trade for Chris Carter, then the offer is there, says Blake. All right, Blake, keep in mind you win one more rushing category with that beautiful CJ2K. You would have a 40% chance at the Mahomes Swarovski Crystal Flex. All right, Rob, 24 names, 7 clicks, top name getting a Chase wheel spin and a gift card.
Let's do it.
7th and final click, it is Cody Myers. Cody, let me know what number you want to start on, sir. Otherwise, we'll start you on 1. Whatever this wheel lands on, that is how much money you're getting in an Ultimate Autographs gift card. Rob, word on the street, you spent 100 recently. Is that right?
Correct. Yeah.
Impressive.
Right on the dot. One right to the headliner and David Harrison. So it's funny how it all worked out. David obviously got the number 1 spot in the randomizer, so he's the top headliner, and then he got the top dollar amount. So
that's what he does.
Yeah. No, it fell together perfectly.
And the brakes have been fired the last couple of days. There's plenty more fire to be had, Blake.
Oh, yeah.
That Speed Flex series, 12 boxes left, 11 headliners, and we still got the Crystal Mahomes out there. So there's plenty more fire to be had in this series. I'm a little surprised we're not, pushing at it right now, but we're on that precipice of pushing in the Speed Flex break. So... Cody, I'll give you about 30 seconds, brother. Otherwise, we'll start you on 1. Whatever this wheel lands on, that's how much money you're getting in technically now store credit, as Rip likes to remind me. Store credit. It's still a gift card, Rob. We just don't email it to you. It's just store credit, essentially a free gift card. Cody, are you out there, brother? Last call, my man. Last call, Mr. Cody Myers. All right, I'm going to spin for Cody. I do better off 1 anyway here, Rob. All right, this one's not as high, but still not bad. Could be a free jersey spot or more money towards a Speed Flex spot. $29, Cody Myers.
29.
You're getting a $29 gift card. I'm going to stretch my legs real quickly and get that heat adjusted, Rob.
29 gets you enough to get yourself right into a jersey spot.
Yeah, free spot.
Free spot, why not? Cody, if you're out there, my man, that is in your account for you.
Mr. Myers.
Waiting to be used at your disposal, my man. So, yeah, but I know you were talking about the Speaking of the league leaders,
Yeah, hit
it's
me.
the closest that we have to movement right now. So we have 5 spots left for the league leaders. But if you guys want to get that down to 3, obviously, Kamen being the number master he actually has a PhD in numerology. As we like to call it. So
I didn't know that.
Where is the degree exactly?
I'm gonna add that to my resume, Rob.
That's to be determined. It might be on Common's fridge at home, but it is true though. I've seen actually many times in my short amount of time here that as soon as we get to that number 3, so if we can get 2 more spots within like the next however many minutes that Common wants to have things going for. We're going to see something happen in the league leaders, and there's an 11 and 12 chance of landing a headliner. So you definitely don't want to end the night while having those good of odds be up on the board, because the next time you tune back in, chances are it's not going to look like that.
Well, the next show's in about 12 hours, and I don't think we should wait 12 hours.
Yeah,
we should get
no
this
shot.
done now, Rob.
No shot.
We should definitely get this done now. 5 to go in this break. So, I mean, I'll go till 9:30 no matter what. It's 9:07 right now. That's 23 minutes. There's plenty of time to get these breaks moving. Look, if we're like 2 to go, 1 to go, 3 to go, I'll probably give them a little more time. If we're still at 5 to go or 4 to go, though, Rob, at 9:30 we knock out no spots or only 1 spot, we're going to leave this for the guys tomorrow. That'd be Rip and Mike. I know you're not in till Thursday at noon, right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, you're correct.
So
you're correct.
I have some good news, bad news, more bad news, Rob.
Oh, great.
Because, I mean, it could be good news, though, depending on the customers. Because, look, whether it's tomorrow afternoon, whether it's tonight, whether it's tomorrow night, I'm guessing by the noon show on Thursday, there will not be a single helmet left in this series. So your last chance to see these helmets in person, the Chris Johnson, the Steve Smith Sr., the Chrome Flexes, Lawrence Taylor, Mike Evans, this is probably your last shot tonight, Rob. So I don't, I don't want you to miss out on your top 2 ranked helmets. I want to see if that Chris Johnson lives up to the hype in person. I want to see if that Steve Smith Sr. lives up to the hype in person, right? I want to make sure you get to see your helmets tonight, brother. I don't want you to be left waiting.
No,
I'm looking out for your mental health, because you know what happens sometimes? Don Pellegrini, if he doesn't see a helmet, he texts me at 3 in the morning. I can't sleep, Common. I didn't get a chance to see the Speed Flex. And then I wake up, my dog wakes up, my fiance wakes up, and it's just bad news bears for all of us. So I don't want you to do the same thing. I don't want you texting me at 3 in the morning like Dom does.
If anything, I'll probably be texting you talking about how funny this Ricky Williams helmet inscription is. So
right? You haven't seen anything yet.
No. So I mean, overall though, I do agree. I think that Jay Bowerson also doesn't want to see us in dire straits either, because he's knocking down the league leaders to 4.
I just want to sleep, Jay. I don't want these guys texting me in the middle of the night, Jay. I just want to sleep a little bit. Can a man get some sleep? Come on now.
Yeah, I was going to say, even for myself, sleep is just very few and far between for myself these days. But yeah, I'm in the same boat as you. I don't want to be up. Look, I'm going to sleep at least with one eye closed tonight, because I saw my Kurt Warner finally get pulled. But with these league leaders on the board, yeah, man, I don't understand what the wait is.
Okay, so you're, again, this is what, week 3 or 4? How long have you been with us? Counting training.
4. I'm entering 4 already.
Wow.
I know, right? Yeah.
Okay, well, time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah.
I think you, Rob, are spoiled in this break room, because I've had to wait 4 years to see this Chris Johnson custom Speed Flex. I've had to wait 4 years to see, for the first time ever, the Steve Smith Sr. with the Ice Up Sun. I love you, Rob, but I'm going to call it how it is. You're a spoiled man. You walk in here in this break room, and all of a sudden, helmets you've never seen before show up.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I like to do. I like to try to make, I want to create my my own movement, I guess, and create my own following. So
I like it.
I'm glad that Jay Bowerson is following with me. So
3 spots to go, Jay.
He's bought another spot, and you know what? He came back for another one. We're down to 2 now.
There we go, Jay. He gets it.
So
Look,
yeah,
Jay's a Mizzou alum like me. He's worried for my mental and physical health.
What a guy.
So Jay's looking out for me. Thank you, Jay.
What a guy.
Headliners left in the minis, Alex. That would be, boy, that mini series. I know the Speedflex is the best, which you should be playing, but if you're a guy that doesn't have as much money to invest, Rob, a really, really good entry point right now, the minis. We have 12 minis left, and we have 5 headliners left. We have Hall of Fame quarterback, a record trend-setting quarterback, the first black quarterback inducted in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, open up the gates for a lot of the great black QBs today. You know, Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, Jaden Daniels. I mean, who knows? Without Warren Moon, those guys may never have gotten their chance.
Yep.
Warren Moon's an icon. John Elway, a 2-time Super Bowl champion. Last 2 years he played, won the Super Bowl both. One of the most popular names in football history, Troy Aikman on that Cowboy slate. $52 for a mini. You get a 3-time Super Bowl champion, Troy Aikman, for $52. And then, Rob, I got a question for you. I know you can see it on the graphic. Have you seen one of these yet in person? A Curtis Martin autograph.
I have not.
This is the best autograph out there. It is super clean, 6th all-time in rushing yards.
Ooh.
Curtis, my favorite Martin. That is a beaut on that beautiful Flash Patriot. So 4 photo headliners left, Alex, in 12 boxes. You tack on the Ricky Williams. Who knows what the inscription is, Rob, on that next Ricky Williams helmet. So Speedflex getting close.
Speedflex, if this next order from Ken is a Speedflex, I think we're out.
We're sold out.
Yes, sir.
By the way, you know what Jay's doing right now?
Yeah, he said he did his part. He definitely
Thank you,
did.
Jay. Thank you.
He definitely
My mental
did.
health matters. Now, we have a little promo going on right now, Rob. It is for every $100+ order you get a punch card to your system. You get 10 punches, you get a $100 gift card. Jay just got 4 orders of 100+. He just got himself 4 punch cards on his system.
Okay.
So not bad, Jay Bowerson. Appreciate you, one Mizzou guy to another. Our undefeated Mizzou Tigers, Ahmad Hardy for the Heisman Trophy, baby. Put some respect on the Mizzou running back. Speedflex. And this is a double, is it? No, it's a single.
It's a single.
Speedflex single number 2. Go ahead and drop me a box number. I'm hoping this is not the last break tonight, guys. You keep the orders going. We'll keep the night going. But if it is the last break of the night, which again, I will say this again, Rob, I hope it's not. Want to keep breaking. But if we are wrapping up for the night, let's end with a bang. MIZJ says, go Mizzou. He knows. He knows that Jay Bowerson. Harpo's was still around back when Jay graduated even. Jay Bowerson and I have very, very different graduating years, Rob. I graduated in 2013, and Jay graduated much before me. I'm not sure the exact year, but well
It's okay.
before me.
Yeah.
So my fellow Mizzou guy. We got 21 coming up from Kenneth. 21, thank you, sir.
21.
21, the primetime box for the primetime show. Deion Sanders coming up. So Speedflex single. This will put us at, is this right? Only 11 boxes left after this. Man, we're on the doorstep here, man. I say let's get all 11 done quickly. That could be 5 doubles in a single. I have seen 11 boxes go in this break room in about 20 minutes before, Rob. Those break spots do sell out pretty quickly.
Yeah, and just in case now, if this happens to be the one non-photoed headliner in this series, then we would be a perfect 11 for 11 chance the rest of the way to get one of those photoed headliners
Sheesh.
on the site for you guys to see. So.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it doesn't get any better than that, literally.
That's ridiculous. The headliner ratios right now are ridiculous. Adam Hoffman, Richard Haycock, Jay Bowerson, Ken Stanton all in here, guys. We'll go 7 times for our spots here in the Speedflex break. Good luck, guys. 4, 5, 6, and 7. All right, Jay Bowerson up top, looking to be king of the North, maybe with a Megatron Speedflex. NFC South, Adam Hoffman. Jay Bowerson, NFC East. Maybe there's a filler Eagle out there, Jay. He's an Eagle guy too, Jay. Kenneth Stanton, NFC West. Adam Hoffman in the AFC North. Richard, AFC South. Jay, AFC East. And Jay, AFC West. Welcome back, Charles. We got box 21 coming up. 21 out of 30. Let's see here. Let's see. What do we got in the all speed flex? Oh, here we go. This is a beautiful helmet. Absolutely beautiful helmet. Looks even better in person, making me regret my rankings. How about a little bit of starter magic? Woo! First order in that break, Adam Hoffman.
Wow.
You got the 3-tone, the black, the red, the orange. Mike Evans on the speed flex. Now, Mike Evans, 11 seasons, 11,000-yard receiving seasons. The only player in football history with 11 straight seasons of 1,000 yards to start his career. Also good at getting receiving touchdowns. In 2023, Mike Evans tied for the league lead in receiving touchdowns with 13. That is Adam Hoffman. That is the receiving touchdown category with the Mike Evans speed flex. Very nice, Adam. Dang, that's nice, says Ashley. And Ashley, this was like my number 5 rated helmet left in the series. If there's 4 better than that, Rob, we're in for a treat. And that's not even counting the Crystal Mahomes, actually, right? So great job, Adam. You are taking home the Mike Evans flex, my man. Very, very nice. That a boy, Adam. That a boy. I never get sick of looking at these helmets, man. These chromes, these are so, so sick. Mike Evans, the most reliable player in the league. Death, taxes, and Mike Evans 1,000-yard seasons. My favorite moment of last year's football season, believe it or not, Rob, came the last week of the season. So Mike Evans missed a couple games because of injury last year, right? The only reason why you didn't have the 1,000 yards already wrapped up. Last game of the season, the Bucs are still fighting for a playoff spot. They actually could kneel and clinch the playoff spot, call the game over. Instead, Baker Mayfield and the Bucs run a play because Mike Evans has a contract incentive bonus.
Yep.
If he hits the 1,000 yards, he gets extra money. Plus, he's got that long streak as well. Last play of the game, they run a catch, 5-6 yards, gets to 1,000 yards. Everybody goes crazy. The Bucs go crazy. The fans, the players. That is called taking care of your number 1 receiver, Mike Evans.
Yeah, no, I mean, you got to show a lot of love for that. I mean, especially a guy who's going to have a statue built, most likely.
He should.
Out in front of their stadium. He has been Mr. Buck for them ever since he was drafted in, I believe, 2013?
Out of A&M, I think it was 2014.
Yeah, it was either 2013, either 13 or 14.
Something like that.
A guy who I love to see that instead of him possibly, and they were a playoff-bound team too, so they didn't obviously. I don't think that they were playing for any potential playoff spots.
I think actually, I could
Maybe
be
for
wrong. We'll look it
seeding,
up. Well, I think the way it was, let me look it up because I think the Falcons had the tiebreaker on them. So technically, had they had the same record, I think the Falcons would have made the playoffs. I want to say they still had a chance to not win. They were, last year they were 10-7. Atlanta was 8-9. But had they lost that game, they would have been 9-8. Atlanta's game was not over yet.
Yeah.
I know the Falcons lost the last game last year, but actually, technically, they were still playing for a playoff spot, but they went for the record anyway.
Wow.
What is that? We got more in the flex break?
We actually got 3 in the minis.
Oh, in the minis. All right, Alex.
Alex Villanueva.
All right, Alex.
Chipping in 3 times. So now we're down to 4 spots there.
All right, so we can do a mini break before we go if you guys would like. More than happy to do so. The custom helmets in the Flex series are the best, Rob. They're the best looking helmets. But as far as the mini helmets go, I got 5 words/names to say. 6, I guess. John Elway, Troy Aikman, $52. That's all you got to say, right? That's name/words.
Yeah, I'll count that as 6.
John Elway, Troy Aikman,
If we
$52.
If we hyphenate 50 and 2, we'll create it as 6.
Okay,
Yeah.
so, oh, you're right. Gosh.
We'll keep the hyphen though, just because I admire the attempt.
Right? I tried. So 4 to go in this break. $52. You get yourself 2 of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Very, very nice. 2-time Super Bowl champion John Elway. 3-time Super Bowl champion Troy Aikman. I'll be honest, Rob, we don't see a lot of Troy Aikman in the break room. That's an autograph that does not come through this break room often. I don't care what it's on. It could be a jersey, could be a mini, could be a slap card, could be an authentic. Cowboy fans, you take advantage of Troy Aikman. You just don't see this autograph in the break room. One of the winningest players, of all time. There will probably, well, the way we're headed, definitely never be a Cowboy quarterback ever that wins 3 Super Bowls again. Troy Aikman, I think, is the one and only. And you know how Dallas Cowboy fans are. In 300 and 400 and 500, in 800 years, Rob, they'll still be talking about Troy Aikman as the guy that got him 3 Super Bowls.
Cowboys fans are Cowboys fans because of Troy Aikman.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was the star.
Yep.
Literally the star.
Yeah. No, for
with
sure.
that star.
Yeah, and now they're looking to find somebody else to don that blue Cowboy star on their helmet as well. I mean, Dak Prescott certainly filled the shoes very well, but it's all about team success in Dallas.
He doesn't have Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin, Jimmy Johnson. Doesn't have the same supporting cast Troy Aikman had. But say what you will about supporting cast. Aikman used that cast and won 3 Super Bowls. The number one thing you want as a quarterback is Super Bowl rings. And there's only a handful of guys with more ever than Aikman. I believe it's actually only 3. It's Montana, it's Brady, and then it's Brady, Montana, Terry Bradshaw. The only guys with more rings.
With more rings, yeah.
Mahomes is 3 to equal with Aikman, but only guys with more rings are Montana, Brady, and Bradshaw. Brady, by the way, and Mahomes, both in the league leaders series still. 11 boxes left, guys. We're still looking for the beautiful Chris Johnson with that light blue, that Rip Speed Flex, the 2K Club inscription. We're still looking for the Patrick Mahomes Chiefs Speed Flex, that Chiefs white. We're still looking for the Mike Evans we're not looking for anymore. Lawrence Taylor we are, though. Lawrence Taylor, 2-tone, red and blue Speed Flex. And, of course, the Ice Up Sun Steve Smith Speed Flex. That includes, by the way, the Brady Bucks Flex. Still in this series, the DeMarcus Ware, Salute the Service Rip Speed Flex. Then we got 3 secondary headliners, Terrell Davis, Ed Reed, and Kurt Warner. So 11 boxes left, 10 headliners left, guys, in the Speed Flex break. So right now we're a little bit open, Rob, excuse me. What am I saying, Rip? I'm working with Rip tomorrow. I'm thinking about the noon show tomorrow. Already ahead of myself, Rob. We have so many people with R's. Rob, Robbie, Rip, Ricky. It's easy to get you guys confused.
One more, and we got a starting 5 filled out.
We do, right?
Yeah.
Right? So I'm happy to keep going if you guys would like to. Obviously, the Speed Flex series gets some life. We can keep rocking. I would say there's probably one break we could knock out for sure before we go the mini double 4 spots to go. It is 9:25. Now, I'm going to mix it up normally. I normally go with the even numbers. 9:30, 9:35, 9:40, 9:45. I'm going to go with my lucky number 8. It's my favorite number. Troy Aikman's number 8. I'm going to give these guys 8 minutes until 9:33. If this break is 2 or less to go, which means we knock out 2 spots in 8 minutes, we'll stay on and get this break filled up. If we're still 3 or 4 to go, Rob, we'll hop off the air at 9:33 Central Time. Balls in your court, guys. Elway, Aikman, Martin Moon, and Ricky Williams. I got a trivia question for you, Rob.
Okay.
I know you like sports trivia.
Of course.
So, in the Super Bowl era, since the NFL merger 1970, this is guys that are already in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Keep in mind, some guys like Matthew Stafford, Eli Manning, maybe Joe Burrow if he can stay healthy. That's a big if. Those guys, could get in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. But currently, since the NFL merger, There's 4 number 1 overall pick quarterbacks that are currently Pro Football Hall of Famers. Can you name the 4? That goes for the chat as well, guys, if you have an answer.
And you said this is since what, 1970?
Yeah, since the merger. Since we had the Super Bowl era.
Okay,
so not counting like, the AFL back in the day, the 30s, the 40s, the 50s. Since the Super Bowl era, we're at the AFL and NFL. I believe it's 1970 that merger happened. 4 quarterbacks picked number 1 overall are currently in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Okay, so Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning's one of them.
Okay, so Bradshaw's draft was pre-merger then?
No, he wasn't in the merger.
Oh, he was in the merger. Okay,
So
okay.
he might have been right there.
So Bradshaw.
Bradshaw too, pretty good. You're off to a good start, Rob.
Okay,
They're gonna call him Trivia Rob.
yeah. No, I'm gonna keep going through. I'm gonna
I
keep
thought
going
the
through.
Manning was the easiest.
Yeah, Manning was definitely the easiest. Now I'm trying to think and wrap it back, not really towards modern because I can't do really modern that much.
It's modern-ish.
Not Montana.
You'll learn something about my trivia questions.
There's a reason why you're asking him. Okay,
Yes.
so there's a particular
There's a particular reason.
there's a
why.
particular reason why. Okay, so
There's your clue.
there's a very clear reason why. Okay, so
Maybe 2.
okay, so Elway,
Yes.
Aikman,
Yes.
And
Elway
then,
and Aikman.
there you go.
So Elway, Aikman, Manning, and Bradshaw.
and Bradshaw. There you go.
First overall pick
There we go.
quarterbacks that are Pro Football
I
Hall of
eventually would have
Famers.
circled my way back to the
Yes.
back to the cheat sheet.
That's the clue right there.
I get
Now-
half credit.
Yeah, half credit.
I get half credit.
I think Matthew Stafford, Eli Manning will get that honor as well.
Yeah,
but
they
they're
will.
not yet in that class at this current moment.
It's a fun question though. It's a good-
Absolutely,
it's a good question.
That tells you how good the break room is. We consider the Speed Flex series the best we offer. The mini helmets are technically on the lower end of stuff we offer, and we have 2 of the best players ever in that category. Tells you how good the breaks are we offer, right?
Yeah, I mean, Mark McAdams was certainly a fan of that trivia. He bought in 2 spots in the minis.
What's up, Mark?
To get ourselves down to 2. So
Mark is, I believe Mark is a Cowboy fan, I think. Fan of Troy Aikman. So makes sense. I say Emmitt Smith is the best Cowboy. Personally, I think he's the best Cowboy. I think the most popular Cowboy is Troy Aikman, though. I really do. He's the quarterback. That's the limelight. That's the spotlight, the quarterback, Rob. Right?
being the quarterback of 3 Super Bowl teams, that's hard to beat.
That's so special.
I mean, go through any dynasty in the NFL and really talk to me about, which player was the most popular on any dynasty in the NFL.
Well, I mean, you can't have a dynasty without a quarterback.
Exactly.
You might get
So-
like 1 year with Trent Dilfer, Brad Johnson, the outliers,
But not a dynasty.
Not a dynasty. You can't win multiple or I consider dynasty 3. If you don't, what do you consider dynasty? 2 or 3? I mean,
I think the sport is different. But I would say typically the number is 3.
yeah.
But I would say 3. I would say it has to be 3 and now here's the tough thing. This is why I said this is a caveat. Usually 3 in a 5-year span is a dynasty for me.
I do about 6.
But
I'd say half the years you won.
I would put it up to 10 only because I think the Spurs had a 20-year period of making the playoffs and they won 5 championships over that time.
But the Braves are not a dynasty, though.
The Braves are
because they
not-
only won 1 championship.
Exactly, because they only really hung 1 banner. But the Spurs are different because they won 5 in 20 years.
Yeah, it's respect.
And they had 1 guy at the core of it every single time. So, you think of the Patriots, you think of Brady and Belichick, you think of the Steelers, you think of Bradshaw, you think of Mean Joe Green, you think of the guys that were the cores of those teams. Obviously, your Chiefs, you think of Mahomes, you think of Kelsey, you think of Reed. You think of, a couple of names that are right there. So I would say 3 and 10 for me is the max, but typically is 3 and 5, 3 and 6.
And the Cowboys did that. They did the 3 and 5 in the 90s, right? Aikman, Irvin, and Smith. Speaking of 3, the triplets, not too shabby. This has been a good mini series. I won the Howie Long one the other day. The Howie Long, not bad, Mark McAdams. Definitely a great mini series, guys. We are down to 2 spots to go, that mini break. Unless there's a absolute flood of orders, Rob, this will be the last break of the night, the mini break. I'll do a quick top to bottom rundown. Now, I've been doing this for 4 years. I have seen sometimes at 9:30, a few guys keep getting in here, and the break room heats up. So I'm not calling it just yet, but unless there's a bunch of quick orders, that mini break would be the last break of the night. 2 spots to go. That should happen here in the next few minutes. So Alex won the Puka and the Bolden in one pool. Double box break, 1 spot, 2 items. So headliners left in the break room. Jersey Series. We're still looking for Jerome Bettis, Justin Jefferson, Champ Bailey, Lawrence Taylor, Warren Moon, Eric Dickerson, Fred Warner. 3 secondary headliners, Chad Johnson, Frank Gore, and Brian Robinson Jr. Minis that is coming up, 2 spots to go. Get this closed up, guys. Warren Moon, John Elway, Troy Aikman, Curtis Martin, then Ricky Williams, secondary headliner, 5 and 12 chance at a headliner in the minis. The Speed Flex break, once again, this is almost too good to be true. 11 boxes left, 10 headliners left, 7 of which are photoed. That includes Calvin Johnson, Steve Smith Sr., Chris Johnson, Tom Brady on the Bucks, Lawrence Taylor, DeMarcus Ware, Patrick Mahomes. Then we got Terrell Davis, Ed Reed, and Kurt Warner in that League Leader Flex Series. Practice Squad. Get a Speed Flex for as low as $51. Still looking for Jamar Chase, Zay Flowers, Myles Garrett, Dan Marino, Jim Kelly, Eddie George Speed Flex, and a secondary headliner, Ricky Williams. So Marino and Jim Kelly, AFC East, 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks for $100 when they're worth over $1,000 combined with those 2 autographs. Got the Myles Garrett and Jamar Chase double up. Myles Garrett potentially could double up with Zay Flowers, or Zay Flowers and Jamar Chase. 1 spot, 2 wins in the AFC North. Game Day Series, we got 10 boxes left, 5 headliners left. Terry McLaurin, the Jonathan Taylor Speed Flex, the TJ Watt Speed Flex. Secondary headliners, Nico Collins, and Jackson Smith Najigba in the Game Day. Vault break, we're down to just 5 boxes left. We got ourselves the 3 vault keys, 300, 150, plus 1 secondary headliner, Eddie George, in that vault series. Diamonds are down to 8 to go. We got 2 headliners left. The beautiful Ghost Chrome John Elway, that orange visor, orange face mask. And then we got ourselves also available the Marshall Rams authentic for the Hall of Fame running back Marshall Faulk. So it is 9:34. We are still 2 spots to go in that mini break. I'm going to be patient, but somewhat patient, Rob. I'm going to give these guys until 9:40. That is 6 minutes to get that break done. And I'm talking about done. Not 1 spot to go. Not 2 to go. Done. If this break is sold out by 9:40, we'll break it. Otherwise, this will be a pre-fill for Rip and Mike tomorrow at 9 in the morning. While we give them those 5 to 6 minutes, Rob, let's talk about our hits of the show for tonight's show. So Mahomes obviously was not technically hit, so he would not be eligible. So we have 5 helmets on the table right now that are eligible for the hit of the show. We can put the Mahomes off to the side, since looks like unless there's a mad rush, that one will not come out tonight. This is tough. So we got a Mike Evans. We got a Kurt Warner flex. We got a Randy Moss Winter Warrior flex, a Chris Carter Viking flex, and that Ricky Williams with the hitting bowls and smoking bowls, or hitting holes in smoking bowls, excuse me. So I don't love putting the same team twice unless it's like legendary. So just by default, I'm going Chris Carter, number 5.
Okay.
All I catch touchdowns inscription, Viking Speed Flex. That's my number 5. Is that mini sold out?
We are down to 1 in the minis.
1 to go in the minis. So get that last spot, guys. What do you think? Your number 5, Chris Carter, or do you got something else for number 5? It's tough. They're all really good.
Yeah, it's got to be. It's got to be Chris Carter. You didn't think I was going to put KW at 5,
I
did
didn't
you?
think so.
No, I had KW at the top spot for a while until a certain somebody came out. I'll build the suspense on that.
Okay, I'm guessing it's Ricky Williams, but we'll see. So the other 4 to me are about even, just because personally, as a football fan, Kurt Warner is my favorite of the 4 names. Aesthetically, the Mike Evans is the best looking helmet. but the Ricky Williams has the inscription. Randy Moss, by the way, is my second favorite of these 4 players. So this is tough. Sold out on the minis.
Yep, Alex closed it.
So I'll ask for that mini double break, mini double. Go ahead and drop me 2 box numbers. I'm going to make some tough decisions. All right. I'm going to put this at number 4 only because I've seen this helmet a lot in the break room. It's the most common helmet of these 4. It feels weird saying this. Randy Moss is my number 4. Because we see the Winter Warrior quite a bit. That's my number 4. Right?
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's one of my personal favorite design helmets. Now, I haven't seen it enough, so I totally understand where you're coming from on that. Now, the thing for me is that no, I was going to put Ricky Williams at my number 4 because of the look compared to the Moss, but because he's got the plugging holes, smoking bowls, and I maybe not paying his tolls. I don't know what else is. I don't know what else is. I don't know what else is written or not written on that helmet, but I'm going to put a Ricky number 4 for right now, just because. Look, the Speed Flex is a Speed Flex. The visor is nice. The only reason why I'm considering it to be any higher is because of the inscription.
Yeah, that's what. By the way, if it wasn't for the inscription, I would definitely flip these.
Yeah.
So also, I just see that helmet a lot. So I'm going Ricky 3. I'm going to go 2 the Kurt Warner because I don't know if you know about this, Rob. Kurt Warner, one of my first loves. I was a Bears fan, didn't have many good quarterbacks, so I went with Peyton Manning and Kurt Warner as my guys as a kid.
Good choice.
Can I see this one real quick?
Oh, yeah.
Hand it to me. I don't want to drop it. I don't want to drop helmets. Not like I've done that before. Oh, wait.
No fumble roost.
So, Kurt Warner's Speed Flex, number 2. And I'm going the Mike Evans 3-tone. Nothing like a chrome flex. That's my number 1 tonight. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I mean, that's great. That was one of those where, again, our marketing and shipping department does an awesome job putting together those videos for you that you're able to see on the website here at Ultimate Autographs. But once you actually see it pop out of the break in person, it's so much better than like you just said, that you can anticipate on. Even the signature just like pops out to you. It's just like a regular pearl white signature, but how much it offsets the 3 different colors on that trichrome helmet, man, that's crazy.
Stunning.
That is crazy, crazy nice. So enough of me glazing over that glaze over there, but I'll go with Chris Carter 5, Ricky Williams 4. I'm gonna go with Randy Moss 3, KW 2, and then Mike Evans.
We
1.
got the same list except for we flipped the Moss and the Ricky, but it was splitting hairs on those 2. Yeah. Let's get this last break of the night done, unless there's a flood of orders, guys. Last break of the night, unless there's a flood of orders. This will be it. 3 and 14 coming up for the minis. If you guys do want to get that flood of orders for us, we'll keep the party going. But we are mostly open right now on that break page. I'm seeing a lot of 8s. Closest break right now is 6 to go in the vault single. So 6s, 7s, and 8s. I'll give you till 9:45, guys. 6 more minutes to keep the breaks moving. If we are still 6 to 8 to go by 9:45, we'll hop off, and this will be the last break of the night. If it is the last break of the night, got some quarterbacks in the room. Maybe Aikman, maybe Elway coming up in the minis, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of hoping to see. We've talked about those 2 quite a bit. I mean, it led perfectly into your trivia question. So, you know what? I will say one of the 2 of those will be a quarterback. And just because I know what I'm watching when I get home, I'm going to try to really make this a Dallas Cowboy theme night. I mean, we already got Ricky Williams, formerly a Cowboy.
Dude, that documentary is so good.
Yeah, I mean, look, I've been saying it the last couple of days. I've had some things derail my attention, but I will be falling asleep to that tonight.
Yes.
So I'll keep you updated on.
Yeah.
I'll give you my thoughts on that for sure. But Troy Aikman is in one of those 2 boxes.
Okay, Troy Aikman is Rob's call.
Troy Aikman.
I actually want to call something different. I'm going to call Curtis Martin. Because you're new to this game, the memorabilia autograph game.
I like
his
that.
autograph is one you got to see in person. Just for you, Rob, I'm calling the Curtis Martin.
Thank you.
So 6 and 7 clicks. We got Mark McAdams up top. Mark has the NFC North. Alexander Villanueva has the NFC South, NFC East, NFC West. Mark McAdams in the AFC North. Chris Latarola, AFC South. Paul Chapman, AFC East. And Alexander Villanueva in the AFC West. So 3 and 14 in the minis, guys. The Red Zone minis. Good luck, folks. Let's break some boxes. Oh my God. Oh my God. Wow, wow, wow. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. Rob, you've got the PhD in the future. Troy Aikman.
Let's go.
Let's go, Alexander Villanueva.
Love it.
Love that hit. By the way,
Love it.
by the way, closer spot. Last spot on the break for the 3-time Super Bowl champion, the Pro Football Hall of Famer, one of 4 quarterbacks in the Super Bowl era, drafted first overall, and currently in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Very, very nice, Alex. Troy Aikman, Cowboys mini. That is what I'm talking about.
Oh, that confirms my Tuesday night plans, to say the least. So way to go, Alex. Not leaving anything to chance. He really started the movement, and he closed some things out. Now he also has an opportunity, right, to wait. What division is Alex in?
Well, he's got the AFC West. You can get 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks in this break potentially.
He's got the NFC on lock too, with the West and the South. So he's all over the place.
He's got some spots.
One guy that never went all over the place was Troy Aikman. He was, a Cowboy for his entire life. He is a career Cowboy, to say the least. And you know what? Anytime you can get a three-time Super Bowl champion of America's team, for $52.
For $52.
Not bad, man.
I told you, Elway Aikman, 52.
Not bad.
That's pretty good. Congrats, Alex, says Mark. Absolutely. Oh, boy, this was close. This was close. We have a second Bronco. It's a Pro Football Hall of Famer, just got in last year. It's not Elway, though. It's Randy Gradishar, one of the best defensive players of all time.
Very
Ohio
nice.
State star in college, Pro and College Football Hall of Famer, bunch of Pro Bowls, beautiful autograph. That retro Bronco mini is Alex again. You are taking home Randy Gradishar, 4 spots, 2 Hall of Famers, including Aikman.
Nice.
And that is not bad, Alex, on your minis.
Way to go, Alex.
I'm a Niners fan, but I'll take them, right? Niners and Cowboys, very heated rivalry in the 90s, which I was on the 3rd episode of the documentary, Rob, and that's what it focuses on, the Cowboys and Niners rivalry. But hey, you know what, Alex? I say this. Take the Troy Aikman mini and trade it for a Joe Montana or Steve Young mini, right? Find a Niners fan and maybe you swap. Or swap with them, right?
Yeah.
You're a Niners fan. Find a Cowboy fan, Give him Aikman and you get Young or Montana. Good trade, right? Thank you, double win, says Alex. Yeah, man. Very nice. And, the double box breaks, 1 spot could land you 2 items. Doesn't stop you from buying multiple spots, right? You can win 2 items with buying multiple spots, too. So, very nice, Alexander Villanueva on the Randy Gradishar mini. Well, that was fun, Rob.
Yeah, I mean, back-to-back Hall of Famers. Gradishar, one of the more underrated defensive players ever, I would say. 7-time Pro Bowler. Like you said, just got inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. 20 career interceptions, had 3 defensive touchdowns as well. Was back-to-back All-Pro first team member in 77 and 78. So one of the best to do it at the time. And, obviously playing in the 70s and 80s, that was a totally different era of football where rules seemingly did not exist back in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah, no, you could hit anybody. I think it was called the Broncos Orange Crush defense, and that's what he did. He crushed a lot of dudes, Randy Gradishar. No doubt about that. So quick last peek at that break page, guys. Kind of a last look and also maybe a preview for the guys tomorrow at 9. If you are pulling the credit card out, please let me know. Say comment, hold a second. I'm getting the credit card out. But the Jersey series still loaded with headliners. Bettis, Jefferson, Champ Bailey, Lawrence Taylor, Warren Moon, Eric Dickerson, Fred Warner. Tons of big names in there. That mini series still looking for Warren Moon, John Elway, Curtis Martin, plus a secondary Ricky Williams. The Speed Flex series down to 11 boxes left. 10 headliners, Terrell Davis, Ed Reed, Kurt Warner. Secondary photo names, Calvin Johnson, Steve Smith, Chris Johnson, Tom Brady, Lawrence Taylor, DeMarcus Ware, and Patrick Mahomes in that league leaders. The practice squad still loaded. Looking for Jamar Chase, Zay Flowers, Myles Garrett, Dan Marino, Jim Kelly, and Eddie George on the speed flex. Game day series still really good. Terry McLaurin, Jonathan Taylor, TJ Watt, 2 speed flexes in the final 10 boxes in the game day series. And then, of course, the diamonds, the ghost chrome, John Elway, very, very clean look on that diamond lid. So, again, if you guys are pulling the credit card out, let me know right now. Otherwise, Rob and I will do our wrap-up spiel before we go tonight. So with that said, Rob, let me get your final thoughts on the show tonight. Final thoughts, comments. What do you got for me, brother?
Yeah, I mean, having an opportunity to work with you, my man, is always it's always a great one. It's a shame that it's only for one shift a week, but I enjoy myself every time I'm in the break room with you, my man. So yeah, I mean,
You're
overall,
not sick of my corny jokes yet?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
No,
All right,
not
keep
yet.
going.
Surprisingly, yeah, exactly. Not surprisingly. So, I mean, I think according to my numbers, we've got 14. It's either 14 or 15 breaks that we had tonight. So, which is really, really cool. Obviously, you make our job so much more enjoyable, so much more exciting once we get all of these football legends out. So, I had some fun, man. Some of my favorite lids that I saw in my time working here, like the Mike Evans, one of my personal favorites now. So, yeah, definitely a fun show for sure.
100%. Great job, Rob, co-hosting, producing. Doesn't feel like you've been doing this for a couple weeks. Definitely doing a really good job tonight, guys. Shout out to my co-host, Rob. Best shout out, biggest shout out, though, to the customers, right?
Always.
You guys make the show possible. You guys make it awesome. Without you guys, Ultimate Autographs is not the place it is. We're on every single day, 9, 12, 3, and 6 p.m. Central Time on the Ultimate Autographs YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook channels. Definitely tune in every single day. Get those break spots on ultimateautographs.com. We're off for the night. I'll be back tomorrow. Actually, normally I'm the weeknight guy, 6 p.m. show. Wednesdays is the early shows for me. So we've got 12 p.m. and 3 p.m. with Rip tomorrow. Speaking of 12 and 3, you're back at 12 and 3 pretty much almost the rest of the week, I guess. I think Saturday, not the 3, but otherwise... The 12 and 3 p.m. show, Rob will be on it for the most part
and
after tomorrow.
Sunday, 9, 12, and 3.
Yes.
So I'll be, yeah.
You'll see a lot of both of us.
You'll be seeing my face quite a bit, both of us, yeah.
Don't get sick of us.
We'll be,
please.
We'll be carrying this break room.
Yes,
so.
Amen. Amen to that, brother. So have a great night, guys, and we will see you soon.